Hey Pod fam, I miss you. I love you. I hope you can binge watch all of Am I Too Loud, the podcast episodes that we've done in the past year, honestly. Like, there's a lot. I think it's probably 50 plus episodes. Oh my God. Is this our 50? 49. Why would I leave Sophie? Oh, it's going to drive me crazy that I didn't do a 50th episode before I went on a break. But that's okay, because our first episode back will be episode 50. We've had 50 episodes. We're still babies. I love you guys and I miss you so much. Bye, Pod fam. Welcome to Am I Too Loud, the podcast. I had such a big plan for my 28th birthday, and for that not to have happened too, I just was not in the best place mentally. But I've been doing such a great work with therapy and like movement and stuff that like, honestly, it didn't really affect me. But your girl turned 28. I was gonna do like a whole cake and like balloons and stuff, but I did that for the vlog. So like, go watch my vlog. I think it went up on Sunday. On that vlog, I kind of, did a little like celebration. I got like an ice cream cake. I sat down. I cheered for myself, and I very much felt very lonely, but I wasn't alone, if that makes sense. Like, I think for my 25th birthday, if you guys don't know, I think I was doing like a whole cute thing on Snapchat the other day. For my 25th birthday, I threw like a 3-day shenanigans bash in DC when I used to live in DC. Like, I had exes in town, all mingling. I spent like $25,000 on my 25th birthday. Ooh, I didn't even know. I didn't catch that. Oh, yeah, no, I was in debt. I'm not even gonna lie to you. That was something I never talked about. Like, I just thought I had such a big party that I was spending money I did not have on that party. Like, I think that's when I got my Amex card, my platinum card. I just got it, I think. And my dumbass decided that it was a really good time for me to, let me just confess. I just felt like it was a good time for me to spend the money. Because when I first qualified for the Amex card, the platinum, it gave me unlimited spending. So I was like, oh, a credit card with unlimited spending. How much can I spend? I spent $46,000 on my credit card. $46,000 that I did not have then. This was when I was 25. It was 3 years ago. Let me spilling my tea. Okay, yeah, that happened. And it was just really bad. And like, the friends who came, I'm not even friends with half of the people there anymore. Like, we're not that close, but it was fun. Like, it was a fun time. My 26th birthday, I did a girls trip to Vegas. That I did not break the bank for. I actually got a brand to pay for that, because I think I worked with the Venetian in Las Vegas. I went to Vegas with my girls. I'd always wanted to do a girls Vegas trip. I went on it. I hated Vegas so much, guys. Let's talk about it real quick. I don't think Vegas, if you guys don't know, or if you're listening, you're like, what's Vegas or who's Vegas? Where is Vegas? Vegas is Las Vegas, Nevada in America. It's a state, like a city in America. In Nevada is the state. Okay, see, that's why I'm not good at geography. Yeah, Las Vegas, Nevada, right? And then I just decided, like, I just didn't like Vegas, and it was because Vegas is not for black girls. Like, it just wasn't for black girls. Like, they were very like body conscious. They were very rude. I was working with the hotel themselves, and like, we would go to the club and they would like not give me my section that I paid for, and they would have like a bunch of white girls literally walk past me to go into the section that I paid for. There was just a lot of like, the music wasn't great. People were just drunk and using drugs. Like, it just wasn't the vibe. But I brought like 6 or 7 of my friends who like are all really, really cool. And so we just did a girls trip. I'd always wanted a girls trip. I was like, for my 26th, I'm gonna do a girls trip, and he actually ended up really well. None of the girls like fought or anything. It was just like really sweet. So that was fun. I wouldn't do Vegas ever again. I really only would ever go to Vegas if I was going to do like a Beyonce residency or like a Bruno Mars residency. Like, I'll go for a residency, like a show. I wouldn't go for like the party scene. There was one time I went to this party called Dree something in Vegas. Guys, they said to enter was $150 as a girl. Like, because sometimes I'm like, the patriarchy works, because as a girl, I love that I don't have to pay to go in the club. They said no bad bitch or no bad bitch unless you know somebody. You're gonna pay $150, and boys had to pay $250. We didn't have any boys with us, but it was very annoying. And then we got in and we couldn't sit. To get a table was about $10,000. Who is paying that kind of money for what? Does it come with God? Okay, well, God forbid. But you know what I mean. So I didn't like that for 26, but I had a good time. I cried on my birthday though, because like, this club like just made the entire thing trash, but it was okay. 27 was last year. I was working with American Express, and I got to go on a free all expense pay trip to the Four Seasons in St. Kitts and Nevis. That was a fun birthday. It was my first ever solo trip. Like, it was a brand trip because the brand was sponsoring the trip, but I went solo. and like there was no brand person there. They just gave me an American Express, gave me credit, and said go thrive. That was my 27th birthday. Oh wow, I've lived life, guys. What the heck? So it's like there was like, I think when I started celebrating my birthday, I've had like layers and layers of this stuff. I actually forgot about that. I found out that you guys sent me a bunch of voice notes for my birthday. First of all, thank you so much. That's really sweet. My team told me about it, and I'm like, okay, I would love to play some of them. I'm not going to play all the voice notes on the episode, but I'm going to play some. I'm going to listen to the rest. And I just want to say thank you to everyone who played me voice notes. I love y'all very much. I'm just going to react to them. And yeah.
Hey, what's up, Sophie? It's AJ. I know this is for the pod fam, but we're family in real life, so it still applies. But anyway, just wanted to say a happy birthday to you. Congratulations on everything and all your successes. Continue to inspire us. You're doing really great. We're all proud of you, and so make sure you enjoy your day. And I'm looking forward to continue to watch you grow in this new year and onwards. Have a good one.
Oh my god. Okay, guys, that's from my friend AJ, and that's a really sweet episode. Why am I blushing? That's a really sweet message to start. One of my biggest things about my friends is that they support me heavy, like heavy, heavy, heavy. Especially like AJ. AJ is like a cisgender, and that's so important to know. Like, this is a cisgender man who has been friends with me for a really long time, and he watches my vlogs, watches the podcast, like he listens to the podcast. Like, he's been an avid supporter, and like I love AJ down. Thank you, AJ, for showing me love and loving me, and for the sweetest message. He also like called me normally because we're friends.
Happy birthday, Sophie. I wish you all the best and I wish you many, many, many more years to come. I see what you're doing out there. You're my mentor. You inspire me a lot. Continue to be the girl that you are. Continue to be the truth girl that you are. Be true to yourself. You inspire a lot and a lot and a lot of young souls like me. I'm looking up to you, girl. And yeah, you inspire me a lot. Happy birthday. Thank you for being yourself. Thank you for showing the world that you can be yourself and then you can still succeed. And I'm open to see you one day. And yeah, I'm a big fan of you. I love you. And I wish you all the best. Mwah.
What is crazy is I think most people might have found out about our connection through this damn vlog you posted.
Oh my god.
Where she was like, she's gonna be a PA for a day in New York for a black creator, and it was people just, I think that video went super viral. And then like everyone was like, oh my god, like who is that? And then you posted another video where you talked about me being a big sister, so people were like, oh, they didn't know you had a sister.
Thank you so much. Very, very nice. I love you. Very, very nice.
And you've been doing so well online right now. You hit
Thank you,
100,000 on TikTok. You're getting brand deals. She literally was sitting here right now. She got a brand deal. Like, I'm just so proud of her.
First time I texted Sophie was October 5, 2020. And I think she had posted something about, I don't know, 2019 was a very interesting year for you. That's why I sitting down with a small face. 2019 into 2020 was a very interesting time. So I'm going to read the first message I ever sent to you. And then I'm going to play a voice note that I feel like is the core of this relationship. Okay, so...
No, guys, I did not know
She
this was
didn't know
happening.
what's gonna happen.
Okay, I'm so scared now.
Okay, so should I do the message first or should I just play the voice note? I should play the voice note. Oh my God, you.
Is it your voice?
My voice, yeah.
Wait.
Okay.
Year beginning.
Okay.
I found your page when I am 16, turning 17 next week, but I found your page like last year beginning, and oh my gosh, I was so depressed. I was so depressed. I don't know, but I cannot remember the last time I like genuinely smiled, and I don't know how I found your page because I never like followed, because you have to follow someone to see their story, but your story popped up, and that was when you were trying to do Megan Thee Stallion, I'm a Savage dance, and I smiled for the first time. I was crying. You didn't say anything, Sophie. You were literally just trying to do a dance, and I saw you, and I started crying and laughing. That's the weight of who you are. Like, that's the...
Okay, so background story. Ew. That was what I was saying. Like, I spoke so differently a couple of years ago. Another message.
She had such a African immigrant who just came to America accent.
Yes.
That you get all the time as you're trying to figure it out. That's so adorable. I love that you come into your own person now.
Oh, whatever. Leave me alone. But the background of this was you were, I think you're going through like a couple of things then, but you would always like post video talking about you're not making us proud and you're sorry. And that used to piss me off. And like even I sent more voice note. I sent you like 5 voice note that day.
Did I respond?
Yes, you sent a video.
What?
That was like, that you sent a video.
I missed you guys. Also, somebody commented the other day and they were like, Sophie, we really like your voice. Like, you could talk me through it. And I was like, you guys don't want me to talk you through? Wait a second. I've been told, first of all, did you guys know I'm a talker during sex? I think this is so random and has nothing to do with this episode, but I am such a talker. Like, I was just talking to my bae the other day and I was like, just wanted to drop that in there. Nothing crazy. Oh, what? What did she say? Yeah, I said it. And then what? But I was talking to my baby the other day and we're talking about, I was getting shy because I was reading a book. You know, you guys know how much I love reading my romance novels. And I was talking to them about how I really, 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 really am loud during sex. And especially because I tend to be very vocal. Like, even when I kiss, like, I'm just a moaner. I'm like, hey, stop, baby. Yeah. Guys, and I'm not even doing it because I don't even know how to fake it. I'm just very vocal. The way I yap on the podcast is exactly the way I yap when I am having sex. And I don't understand why I'm sharing that information with you, but I want you guys to know that. Taylor Frankie Paul is the new Bachelorette. If you don't know who Taylor Frankie Paul is, let me tell you because I'm nosy, guys. This woman has 2 kids and her husband were in a swinger controversy. You're probably like, Sophie, what is a swinger? Swingers are when couples have sex with each other. Okay, a dream of mine. Moving on. But this is literally what they used to do in the Mormon town that they were at. So she and a group of other moms and wives and their husbands used to sleep together. And then one time she slept with somebody else's husband, but her husband didn't know. And that one's husband didn't know as well. So it was a whole thing. And then she had a mental breakdown and she was arrested, but then charges were dropped. And then she was back with her husband, who's the father of her kids. And then she wasn't back with her husband, but she's sexy. She has a lot of hair. She's a Mormon wife. It's drama. And there's also a Hulu show called The Secret Life of Mormon Wives that they're all on. I'm telling you, God, I don't think you guys understand that white women have drama. If you're worried about baddies and just the Real Housewives of Lagos, I don't think you've seen drama yet. I don't think this is things that like stress me out, because when I talk about our community, when you're talking about a show where a couple is on there and they used to swing and fuck each other, we're not playing the same game. We're not playing the same game. Anyways, so she's going to be the new Bachelorette. And I think that's interesting because the Bachelorette franchise has never done this before. Typically, it's people who were formerly on the show that then, put up to be Bachelor or Bachelorette. But Last Bachelor didn't actually do really well. And then the Last Bachelorette 2 was okay, but it wasn't really like anything like crazy. I think Hulu is trying to change into a different thing. So she's going to be the new Bachelorette. She has 2 kids. She was married before. They're divorced now, but she's still in love with her ex-husband, but she's going to be the new Bachelorette. And I think that's great TV. And now that I'm saying that, I'm like, I wonder if I could ever be on reality TV. I don't think I can, only because I think someone like Taylor Frankie Paul shows you how messy life is. And the internet nowadays, I don't think allows people to be messy. Like when I think about Love Island season 7 and just lately in the world, everything just has to be perfect. Everything has to be this way. There's no nuance anymore. There's no black and white. It's oftentimes, there's no gray. It's only black and white. It's very strange because I know that if I was in a reality TV show where I had to talk to men or women, guys, you would hate me because I'm messy. I'm dramatic. I lie sometimes. I can choke somebody. I can gossip. So think about this. As somebody who lived in New York, I'm not really a fashion girly, so I don't know most of these designers, but the idea is throughout the year, you're like interacting with the designers, you're buying their outfits. So then the designers and the PR houses would invite you to come to their show. They would dress you up, and then you can go to their show, sit front row, take videos, do all those things. So I've done that twice or 3 times. My favorite show was Bronx and Banco last year. They dressed me. I was front row. It was incredible. Had a good time. This year, by the time you guys had listened to this episode, Fashion Week would have been over. But I have 3 shows planned that I'm going to be going to, and I'm sitting with and I'm documenting it with Snapchat. I think one of those shows is dressing me. But there are other fashion creators who they have reoccurring shows that they go for. Like I know Pat Bow, I know Brandon Maxwell and the like. So Fashion Week is a bit chaotic for sure. But I think if you're an upcoming influencer or creative, I don't always tell people who aren't in the fashion industry or the makeup and skincare business to come to Fashion Week, because I don't think you make money here. And most brands don't pay you to come to Fashion Week unless they're paying you around the activations. For example, Vaseline could pay me to come to an event during Fashion Week, and I'll post a reel about me using Vaseline for Fashion Week. That's a deal that I can get. Otherwise, for the most part, you don't really get paid. So a lot of creators that you see who are going to New York, they're not getting paid. They're spending their own money, dressing themselves for the most part, and just hoping to be seen, to be photographed, to mingle with PR people and agency execs, to then be able to be invited maybe next year and the like. It's a great networking event. Oh, why influencers at Fashion Week? They're being so this and that, and they're destroying it. Fashion Week needs to be exclusive right now. Oh, shut the fudge up. It does not. It needs to be more inclusive. No matter what you think, I'm telling you right now, every fashion show I've been a part of, everyone I've seen, the people in the room don't look like me most of the time, if not all the time. There might be 5 to 10 specks of us dabbed here and there, but for the most part, these photographers are not taking photos of us. We're not in those rooms, so there's so much space. We deserve to take up space. And fashion is already not an inclusive community. Like fashion, the same fashion we're talking about now, talking about how they don't have a good range of sizes. Fashion where the models on the runway are size 0 and 2. 2 might be too thick. That is a Fashion Week that's inclusive. Please. You, Justin, talk about relationship at least 10 times in an hour. And
that's crazy. That's the crazy stats, because I do not talk about relationships.
Your stats are about relationships.
I'm telling you, researchers show.
Like the amount.
Oh,
I don't know for you, but that's what the proof says. And then for you, Innie, you talk about it at least once a week. So I don't know what that says about both of you, but Innie's first thing is, never knew I would fall in love on the dance floor. And that was September 12th, 2025.
That was
just
very
recent. Okay, let me explain. Let me explain the first one, because I might forget.
Explain yourself.
It's a song.
What song is that?
Song.
But why are you always thinking? Why are you tweeting about that? Where were you?
It's
in
such
that
a
moment?
beautiful song.
Where were you?
Muse and
why did you put the name of the song?
Exactly.
No,
Why you just say
because
the tweet?
because when I met, it was like technically a dance floor.
Really?
And there was that video. I literally.
Oh wait, it was.
Yeah,
So
I was like, oh, I relate to these lyrics a lot.
Oh,
to
that's adorable. I'm sick of this, guys, because they're both gonna be responsible this entire episode now.
Like, look, it's a dance floor. And it was a Shaka song I was playing to. Yeah.
Ah, look at you shutting your teeth. Close your mouth.
He shows the video.
No.
No, you a madman.
This one producer.
What's going on? Relax now. Okay, and then the next one is, I hope, this was March 4, 2024. I hope, it's still Innie. I hope everyone experiences unconditional love in their lifetime.
Aww.
Do you feel like you've experienced that before?
From my mom, yes.
Oh, shut up.
And from God.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you think you're ever going to find unconditional love?
Yeah, I think I'm working towards it.
Oh, Innie, stop.
That's so cute.
You guys are so disgustingly cute. Okay. And then Justin, I have to sift through 50,000 fucking tweets. But
wait, you said that was like March 2024?
Yeah.
I remember that tweet.
Yeah. Why do you remember his tweets?
From March
2024.
Yes.
Because you don't really tweet a lot.
Yeah, he doesn't tweet
That's
a lot.
true. So when you do, it's very impactful.
Yeah,
and he's also a good friend.
Oh,
you should get more people like that. Okay, guys. Justin's famous tweets. Justin, you said May 15, 2024. And I know this for a fact that you weren't in this situation then. So this is very sad for me to say out loud. But you said, I owe you people a relationship before the end of the year. Did that happen for you in 2024?
Yes, actually.
Did it really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did it really? Was it 2024?
No.
Oh yeah. Oh
This was-
yeah. Oh yeah. Was that a
Don't
motive?
be so confused.
There's a lot of context missing.
Oh yeah, guys, we're friends.
But yeah. You see?
Justin wasn't in a relationship at the end of 2024. I remember that. That was interesting.
That Nigeria trip was not.
It was crazy.
It was like I just felt bad for him because the
Really?
babe wasn't there.
Yeah, and it was
just, like,
suffering.
moving slow.
Very soft.
And say we're.
Justin is a very loyal man. Like, I feel like I have really good men around me, guys. Again, that's why I talk a lot about like the people in my life, because you guys are really like, you're responsible-ish.
When we are down, we
When
are
you're
down.
like, when you're down, you're down. But when you're not down, you're a shewos. And a
What?
shewo for anyone is like hoes.
Fair enough. I will take that.
Yeah,
True,
yeah,
I would
for
take
sure.
that too.
Yeah. Like, I think that's why we bonded, honestly. It
Yeah.
was like, oh, I see mutual
A
shewship
shewo bond.
in both of you. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So,
but you know,
Justin.
Asha will just
Yeah.
both genders.
Oh, yeah, of course. It's like a mutual thing.
Yeah, but we just
One side.
we are just one sided. The Asha ship is confused.
It's like
No,
yes.
I wouldn't.
It
Okay, I
cuts
can't
across
even
all
lie. That's
boards,
true. Yeah, mine is like a global ashewoness.
we were
Yeah.
very
You
because
just
all boards,
focus.
all countries.
Okay. Well,
continent. And
is it?
stuff.
We just started the episode. Though. There's so much more, and I will open my mouth. So act accordingly. All right. So, Justin, there was a tweet that someone said that says, "Do you think social media is ruining relationships?" And you said yes. And this was in 2023. And then you said y'all are too invested in recreating other people's relationships on here, forgetting that everyone is different, putting unnecessary pressure on yourself, your brain, and your potential partner. Proceed with your play. And then Ini, being the best goat man,
He responded to that tweet, right?
said, "Oh, Justin don't see shaggy."
Because he
And then-
has.
Right? I feel like among both of
I
three
have,
of us,
yeah.
Justin has suffered. But I will say this, and this is something that I feel bad about saying, I'm going to share anyways. I was telling someone the story about Justin's life and saga.
Why
and
would
they
you
said,
tell
like-
somebody about my life?
Did you tell the name or you just said I have a friend?
No, I said Justin. I even showed them his, I even showed them his Instagram. You
That's
love
the
bomb.
problem.
You love bomb. And then,
I don't love bomb.
what do you do?
I just naturally fall
Like
in
love
love.
explosion. It's not really bad.
It's not, yeah. Just, I've seen,
No, I don't.
I've seen what Justin is capable of. And for me, that was a lot.
But then
if
it's
a man
not,
did that
it's
for
not love
me,
bombing though.
what is it?
Like
You said that was a lot?
like the first month you already did something like I was like
Justin, yeah, you love a lot.
That's not a problem now.
Like,
As far as it's genuine, like, you know.
how do you know it's genuine?
that babe
Hmm.
when was it when I was deployed? That babe, that's like one of our reasons.
That what?
And she was like, oh, she feel like yeah, like love.
Which one when you were deployed?
was
which
it
one
when
of
I was
them?
deployed?
What's one of them?
This was before you moved to Philly. That you were like that she came to your because you get it was long distance. She now came, then she now said it.
No, you can't remember.
You remember?
Mm.
That you were like, oh, that was like a reason that you
Like-
yeah.
That's what he told you?
That's what you told me. Because you were
So
like,
imagine you love bombing someone, forgetting the love you were bombing the person.
No, but that's the thing though. I don't love bomb.
What do you do?
So
Can I say
I'm-
Justin
I'm-
has made a whole website for someone before about their love, and how close were you all to dating?
How close are
Were
we
you
to
guys in
dating?
a relationship then?
No. It was to ask her for our first date. I mean, it's creativity.
creative. No. You're creative. Creating
Do
a
you
website.
guys see what we've been now? You created
Wait,
a whole
wait.
website to ask someone.
So she opened her computer and she like surfing.
How
through
did you
the
send it?
web.
How did you send it?
How did I send it?
Yeah.
I just bought a domain now. I bought a domain. I did the website. Attached the domain to the website. And I just sent her the link.
To ask her for the first date.
Yeah.
That's I don't
What did you
think
do for the second date then?
Huh?
What did you do for the second date?
I just asked her. I mean, it's the first date now. It has to be special. Like,
But then I feel like if you do that for the first one, you have to continue that like forever.
yeah,
You
but
can't-
it doesn't mean I stop being creative.
Mm.
So I'm still creative.
Okay,
but then
what's the
thing
most
is-
creative thing you've done besides the website? And I'm going to ask you the same thing too, so think about it. I know you're
the
trash.
crazy thing I know, it was this guy that gave me that. It was from his playbook.
Really?
Yes.
What did you do?
Let him go first.
I've done a custom storybook.
Okay, that's the same playbook. You want? She accepted me back.
Oh, you what?
Me, him, and Isaac.
Isaac. Which is our third
As it's
roommate.
our friend, like
Yeah.
roommate.
So is the only reason why we have that group chat is because
We live together.
Yeah,
They're
that's
just
true.
like,
It makes
oh,
sense.
who's at home?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
true.
We don't really. I don't know.
Crack jokes.
Ain't she really funny in that chat?
It's really not.
'Cause
Yeah,
it's
just
mostly
feeling
like-
well life.
I swear. I feel like you are the only comic relief. in
Oh,
our
guys,
life.
you
Yeah.
think I'm funny
No, we think you are
No,
the
like,
comic relief.
You yourself
Yeah.
as a
are the
person?
comic.
Like-
yeah.
Like maybe like I don't want to say it, to be honest. Like but like if I think about it, like maybe somebody else is looking at it, they'll be like, oh, like your life is a joke. So like
Yeah,
that
like,
joke
yeah.
is just like the
That's
comic
you,
relief.
that's-
But that's you. Like you'll be the joke in our life.
I don't know. I swear to you, I don't know how I feel about this statement, but I'm gonna keep moving. Just talk about Sophie on the street, which is like fire and stuff. I'm gonna explain what that is because I don't think I've even said that to the podcast. I'm gonna talk about the stuff you guys are going on because again, I said they have a lot going on. So I just launched Sophie on the Street, which is like an interview series where I'm trying to make strangers overshare. So I'm just going to be on the streets anywhere and everywhere in the world, from New York Fashion Week to Tokyo to Nigeria to South Africa. Anywhere you see me, you see a mic, you see me on the streets, getting to know people, having fun, learning fun things. And I just feel like it was a way to get more people involved in my trajectory in my career. And I want to host and do a lot more stuff. That was the easy, like,
Yeah,
thing
no,
I
I
could
saw
just do.
that and I was like, yeah, that's smart.
Right? Thank
Yeah.
you guys. I'm really proud of it. And as I was literally doing more research about my friends, I saw that Justin finally posted on Twitter. You've been posting it here and there, but you posted a tweet today about your Memora app and Tova dating that you're
Oh, yeah,
doing.
yeah, yeah.
Why did you forget? Why you looking at me like, what else
No,
did I
I,
post
I was
on
like,
Twitter?
I posted on Twitter. I post.
But you posted about Memora app. So tell us what Memora app is and what Tova dating is too.
So I'll start with Tova Dating. So
Okay.
Tova Dating is a dating app. Is a dating and networking app for African professionals in the diaspora. So like people like us,
Are we considered
lawyers.
professionals or creatives? Both.
Yeah, it's kind of both. Yeah, but lawyers, doctors, all that stuff. Just so you're not on Tinder looking for like your next hookup. You're actually looking for something proper.
Like it's like career.
Yeah, and
somebody who's-
okay, I'm talking to a doctor. He's like at this level in his life, everything is
Wait.
working out.
That's not what LinkedIn is.
But it's not dating.
People use LinkedIn to date now, actually. So you're just
People use
like
LinkedIn to date.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
People get wives. on
I've
LinkedIn
always
now,
found
husbands.
LinkedIn like very intimidating though. Can't lie.
Yeah, you see. So if you're going there, yeah.
Okay.
So we need
You know,
like
is it like a friendly?
friendly environment.
I feel what you mean.
And the Memora app is a meme app. Because one day I was looking for a meme and I couldn't find it. I was like, why is there no one place where all these memes are? You can just go there, search for it, and find it. So that's what I'm building.
I love that. But you guys, both of you also have something called Shut Up and Dance, which I think is one of the best parties in the world.
And the best name.
The best name in the world, because honestly, with the way party culture has started moving lately, I feel like nobody wants to fucking dance anymore in clubs, at the bars. I have a hot take, or I don't think it's a hot take anymore because I feel like I've been seeing it around, that since club culture became a thing, and I mean club culture as in like bottle section, hookah, shisha especially. Once you had that in place, especially in cities like DC, nobody's dancing anymore.
nobody's
Everybody's
dancing,
huffing and
exactly.
puffing the shisha on the table. The girls are eyeing you because whose tip is that? Who took my tip? Who did not take my tip? When is the extra tip coming? Who is paying for the bottles? The men who cannot afford to pay rent are going to be sitting there borrowing and sharing with their friends who will afford to pay $2,000 bottle, and they're going to be standing there and be angry and texting each other and saying, "Bros, where's your own 200? Bros, want to go and buy Ace? Bros, are you okay? Bros, what's it come and take on the side? How will you dance if you're
I see it close to home.
Yeah, it's very.
How will you
But that's
dance if
not
you're
us,
stressed
That's
out
not
about
us.
the fucking section that you cannot afford, but you want to be there every fucking weekend, Saturday and Sunday, Fridays, Thursday nights to Sunday fucking evening? You're at the fucking section with your boys. You guys are sharing the money, $300 every fucking day.
Becoming too
You are going into details.
Yeah, yeah.
Might as well just mention names.
Is this just a me thing?
Mention names.
You guys don't
No,
feel
no.
like that?
I mean, that's
No,
why.
that's
like,
why we started.
That's why we started the Shut Up and
Yeah,
Dance
like I
series.
love that you guys don't have sections. Don't like you do a
We
little bit,
do,
but
yeah,
it's
but-
not like the point of the party. There's always like a
Yeah.
big party dance space
Yeah.
where everybody's just dancing.
Dancing.
And you guys are dancers yourselves. You're oblate warriors and what's it on? Like walk warriors. I don't know.
Yeah.
You're always floating. Your legs are always levitating. In the
Is it
air.
levitating?
Yeah, your hair is always flying. But you're always like your energy is a vibe. Like everyone's
Yeah.
dancing. The music is A1. So I enjoy that about
Thank
Shut Up
you.
and Dance.
You know what? I feel like, and this is not like if you were not my friend, every time you've come to our party, you always
She respects that shut up and dance. Like Sophie respects shut up.
like she don't even interact with me. The only
Just
interaction
in her
is
own
like
world.
either with her hand or she's doing one
I'm-
dance that I have to follow.
Can I just tell y'all something? So me and both of them have zero emotional, sexual relationship, nothing like that. They are like literally like they're
I mean, you're not
they're
really my
not they're
type.
really shut up.
I said, why do you feel
They're like, no, I just want to make it clear because you people have began the homegirl comments
Oh,
before
word,
TikTok
word,
and shit,
word,
right?
word.
So there was one time I went to their first party ever and they had a bunch of girls around them. When I tell you the girlies always want to fucking fight me every time. And all I do is mind my fucking business and shut up and dance. And so every time now with you guys, I have to ask them specifically, who's your babe? Who's your babe here? Let me go and miss the babe, say hello, say hi. I'm only here for a good time. And then I leave. Why is that, boys? Why do you always have people around you? What's going on?
I don't too.
Are you sure?
Me.
Because there was one time I came to a party and they were like, oh, that one's Justin's zone, that one's Justin's zone, that one's Justin's zone too.
Which
There were
party is
four
that?
of them, all of them.
This is a crazy accusation here.
But no,
Oh,
but I really enjoy it though.
I mean,
Mhm.
let me speak for myself.
Good.
Most of my audience, they are women.
Why?
My
So you're
dad
not a
did the
fine
same.
boy necessarily. So what do you think the thing is?
Wait, what? God, though.
Yes. What's going on?
God, though. Okay. But I'm funny. I may not be fun, but I'm funny.
Whatever, yeah.
And
You're
women
funny.
like funny.
Funny guys.
They do.
guys,
And you're
yeah.
tall, so you're like what, 5'9"?
No.
I was also like
This is the most credit you've given me. I'm just 5'2". No, I'm joking. I'm 6'2".
You're 6'2"?
Yeah.
Wow, you're tall. Oh,
Yeah, I'm quite tall.
you can't. No wonder. I feel that.
Is 5'9" tall to you? In my head, he registered as 6'9". Wait, that's my favorite number.
Moving on.
Okay. But yeah. I don't know. It's just usually women just be around. And women, I don't know, should I want to be partying? Because I don't have a lot of guy friends like that.
Mm.
So like after
you
I
sure?
have Justin,
Yeah.
after Justin and then Silas and then Isaac. That's just like 4 of us.
Do you have a lot of guy friends?
No.
Okay, now I have like some research that I'm thinking because I'm realizing that I'm usually friends with guys who don't have a lot of guy friends. Like you guys have a lot more feminine. I said feminine. You guys have a lot more feminine. I wouldn't say traits, but like you guys like women, not as Ashewos, but as like people. Like you respect women at your core. Like you
Yeah.
like women. You don't tell me use them as booty calls. You do sometimes.
Sometimes.
And I've seen you be hoes for real. Like Ashewo Pro Max. Like bottom barrel terrible.
Yeah, okay, it's cool.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Understand? Yeah.
You don't have to.
Just I was just
Like,
making
I
it
think
very
I get
clear.
the point.
Oh yeah. But then
Yeah.
I've also seen you guys like treat women like respectfully. Like you're not necessarily like only with them because you want to get something out of them. So I want to commend you guys on that.
Ah, thank
I
you.
feel
Thank
like
you
you're.
very much.
Thank
Would you
very
guys
much.
say you're a feminist?
What's the definition these days? Because
A
I don't
feminist is
really
someone
know.
who believes in the equality and equity of men and women.
Yeah,
and in
but that's
between.
not everybody. I mean, that should be everybody.
Yeah, that should be
knuckled.
everybody.
Chop
low-key.
knuckles.
Oh.
There we go. That's why I raised them right, guys. That's why they're auntie and her boys. Okay. Because human beings are a lot more terrified of the unknown, right? We sort of have this removed idea of what we want to know, and human beings are very terrified of not knowing stuff. I don't know why, it's just a thing. I think organized religion gives people a safe space to sort of at least have an idea, right? It's like whenever you're a kid and you want to touch fire and your parents tell you, oh, if you touch that fire, you will get burnt, right? It's the same way with like religion. Oh, if you follow these steps, this would happen to you. This would not happen to you. That's kind of the idea behind organized religion, for the most part, right? And I'm speaking about this not from an atheist perspective, but from a very like spiritual, I just want to be open and I want to learn, because it is absurd to me that as human beings, our belief system blocks our perspectives in such a ridiculous way. Like, even if I was super religious, I still don't think at my core I would be the kind of person who is so closed off to the idea of another, whether that's in another religion or another person or something that's outside of my belief system, because everything we do is around belief. Okay, I'm going down a tangent. I tweeted, organized religion will truly always be the reason for the worst atrocities in the world. Now, let's also talk about the fact that like I'm tweeting. I'm on X now. So if you guys don't know, X was actually the first app that I went viral on. And I don't even know if it's safe to say what I'm about to say, because I don't want it's to come back up, but I feel like I will, especially in light of a lot of things that have gone on. So in my life, I've told a story, and in that story, I've shared how I was, sexually harassed or slash assaulted during my time in school and over a few years even. And I've shared that, and there's a lot of things about myself I am learning. Okay, and one of those is the impact that has had on me and who I am as a person. My heart is beating so fast when we're talking about this. But anyways, I'm bringing that up in a way to talk about my love-hate relationship with X, aka Twitter. I hate that app. And I think it's because with social media, with TikTok and Instagram, the video heavy component of those platforms allows people to think before they speak. They still don't think enough, because when you hear those eight trains happening, they still don't think enough. But there's a level of, oh, I can come on here, say my hot take. Some people might agree, not agree. Some people can deactivate their account. You never hear from them again, because of this idea of you're being seen. Like, it's literally you having to put up your phone and record. That is pretty scary, right? Compared to Twitter/X, where people can hide behind their keyboard. That's why some of the worst places on the internet are places where you don't need a profile picture, you don't need anything, you just need your hands and a keyboard that you can type and text. That's why I don't like Twitter or X. So in this particular situation, I left Twitter, I think, for about 2 years or a year and a half, when it just got a bit too much. One of the reasons why, and I feel like I've never addressed this before, but I will, is I was accused of being a RAPE apologist, which is absurd to me as somebody who is an RAPE survivor. Or I don't want to use the word victim, but we are victims essentially too. The point is, I remember reading my name being associated with that word, and with regards to a mutual of mine who was accused of doing RAPE. And I remember reading those comments, and he wasn't getting dragged. And we're going to talk about this, but I was. Like, people were like, oh, I knew Odditty was fake. It felt like there was finally a reason for people to hate on me online. And so that's why I left Twitter. But I came back because I realized that women oftentimes get the brunt of situations like this. Women are oftentimes the sole survivors, the sole panelbitas. I don't even know that's the way to phrase it. But women are the ones who oftentimes get that sort of energy, unlike the men in that situation. Like, imagine a man being accused of something, and instead of you spending all your energy into saying, F that man, F what he did, your energy is to type out a list of women who you think might be associated with him, and then start dragging them through the mud, because how dare they be associated with a man if they did not know this was what this asshole was doing? Because I promise you, there are a lot of people who I know as mutuals who are probably horrible people, but I would never know because they're just so good at hiding it. And this particular instance, I didn't even know the fucking man. Like, it was just a mutual, like somebody of a friend of a friend of a friend's friend who we've seen randomly a few times, and we followed each other on Instagram. Anyways, that's the long-winded story of me and my love-hate relationship with social media, especially ones that are video heavy. I say all that to say, I tweeted something about organized religion around the Trump wanting to come into Nigeria Christian nationalism issue, which again we'll talk about in this episode. Guys, there's so much to talk about. I feel like there's so much like, I don't even feel like it's just, we need to have like a word for it. Like, let's figure out in the comments, like, what is the word for what we have going on between us right now? Like, what is that word? What can we call it? Because it needs to be called something, because there's so many things I see. I'm like, I can't wait to tell the pod fam about this, because people are mad. Okay, so I said organized religion would truly always be the reason for the worst atrocities in the world. And someone said, practice your unorganized religion in peace and leave us in our unorganized one in peace, my dear. And I said, LMFAO, are you guys in peace? Okay. And I wanted to understand that this episode isn't entirely anti-faith. It is not anti-faith. It's a conversation essentially about like institutions, about power, about belief systems, about manipulation, about control, and about lived experiences. I don't think, if the one thing I want you to get out of my podcast episodes, if anything, is that control is the one thing you should never let go of. The one thing as a human, you have one life. You better be in fucking control of it. You get one life to live. You better be in control of it. And I don't think we understand, or maybe we just underestimate how many factors are trying to pull at our control. Because if you are not in control of yourself, somebody else is, and that person has the power to do anything they want. And I see that when I think of colonization and how much of a weapon it was in the minds of Black people. Like, control is a fucking drug. Being in control of literal human beings, being in control of like, you can say 5 of you are dead, 2 of you are alive, 1 of you go marry this person and have sex. You can do that to people who have thought, who have brain, who have blood, who have. Do you guys know how much of a fucking mind? I don't even want to get started because that's a whole different conversation. Okay, so let's talk about it. And I feel like this tweet from Larry Madowo is the perfect response to that. He says, President Trump claims there's a mass slaughter of Christians in Nigeria and has threatened to send U.S. troops. But unlike white South Africans, he didn't create a refugee path for Nigerian Christians to move to America. And that to me was exactly what came into my mind when I saw his tweet. Because I remember thinking, oh, if this was really a thing, I'm trying to pick my words carefully because I exist in both worlds. If you know, you know. And am I too loud if I say that propaganda is a real thing? Am I too loud if I say that religion is the best way to control Africans, especially on the continent? They came to you. You had your religion, you had your tribes, you had your people. And then white people came and you said, okay, fuck our thing. We should follow your God. We should follow your rules. We should follow everything you do because you have to have more sense than us. Right? Right? Wrong. Wrong, guys. That's not how life should work. You people matter too. Like, the unconscious way Nigerians decided to put themselves lower than America and the West by saying, oh, yes, you're right. You guys have it all figured out. Please come and help us figure it out. Why are they the ones having to help us figure it out? Who is President Trump in this situation to come and tell you that your country deserves to be saved? By who? For what? One tweeted and said, Nigerians are a conundrum. Highly intelligent on one hand, yet so stupid it leaves you speechless. And then my friend Shayo says, the podcast says, they're indoctrinated. Intelligence is no match for indoctrination. Indoctrination overrides intelligence, rejecting critical thinking for dogmata, replacing rationality with intellectual dishonesty. Indoctrination makes a joke of intelligence. It suspends and undermines it. She just always says it perfectly. I don't know how she does it, but I'm always going to be a fan. And that's exactly why I think it's important to clarify that there's a clear distinction between faith versus religion versus institutions. And I think America is currently facing that battle right now with the rise of Christian nationalism and across the world in general. Because we've all been there, right? When the Crusades happened, the jihad movement, the alleged uproars in so many places around the world around religion being used as the weapon, as a story to tell people, this is your birthright. This is where you need to be going. This is what you need to do. And I will say, this is something that I think makes me feel like, am I a bit too loud to say this? But in a country of over 200 million people, I am not saying there is no unrest. I am not saying that at all. Please understand, I am not saying that at all. But if you are telling me there are 50,000, maybe 30,000, 20,000 dead bodies of Christians, where? Where? And I think as Nigerians, and I fall in the same category of the dogmata of the fear mongering of the North as this uninhabited, archaic, not intelligent, not folks who don't have knowledge, like that group of people, they're They're there. And I tell you this because every propaganda tool is very easy. It's the fear of the unknown. That's it. If you were looking at me right now and thinking, oh, I'm so scared of this, it's probably because you don't understand it or you don't know it. Because if you did, then I don't think these kind of conversations would need to be had, especially in Nigeria, because most people who don't travel to the north, it seems like this faraway place. They don't understand what the northerners are saying or speaking. They see, with the way colonization worked in Nigeria, it really much splits us up, right? You see Igbo folks as like the business owners, and you hear people say Yoruba people are the ones who took over Lagos, and then you have people who are the northern people are the ones who just stuck to Sharia law and jihadism. And yes, to that breakdown, but also yes to the fact that because now you're so closed off to what the North looks like, to who the Northerners are, any you would just take in anything. You would just take in anything. And I am not saying there is not a crucifixion of Christians happening in the North. I'm not saying there's no crucifixion of Muslims happening in the North. In fact, there's some stupid things that come out of the North that I go, what the fuck, this needs to stop happening. But I don't think the response to that is a foreign government coming into your country and telling you what to do. And now, if your government is not responsive and it's not responding as fast as you would want it, change your fucking government. I feel like we underestimate the power of a people just having had enough. We've not had enough in Nigeria. I don't think we've had enough, because if we've truly had enough, then I feel like the conversations would be different. Because the amount of tweets and comments I saw saying, oh, thank you, President Trump, come save us. Come save you, and you are living in your Lekki Phase 1 apartments in Ireland. You've never gone past Lagos. Come save you. Some of you people who have actually never even left your own home. You've never even seen struggle or suffering. And you're talking, come save us. And the Twitter fingers and TikTok fingers. Oh, guys. Anyways, I feel frustration because we've never seen foreign intervention work. And if you have, please, I would love to learn more and see in what capacity that happened, because I just don't think foreign intervention works. Because foreign intervention means that whoever is intervening understands the local politics, local experience, and is able to properly guarantee that is still going to remain intact. And most of the times it can't. Like, we see that happen in the case of Israel and Palestine right now. We see that happen in the case of Ukraine and Russia. Like, we see that happen everywhere, even the UN. Aid is $1 billion industry. Okay, so I just was recording a podcast at Mo Beauty Bar, and the conversation was 50-50, and it was whether or not in a relationship you do 50-50. And my own argument was, in the Nigeria that we live in, you will say a woman should not do 50-50 because you want to be the provider. But if a woman is working for herself, you say, oh, she's an ashewo because she's doing all these things. Or she's disrespectful. And this is where the guy in the room now said that, yes, that imagine me asking a woman on a date and she's asking me to get that Uber. That why would I do that? That means she's cheap. And I said, how does that make any sense if you're toasting somebody? And he said, because she should have her own money to pay, but you want to be 100% the provider, but not provide for that. So what I'm getting to is the fact that I didn't realize this, but 3 of us in this room are pretty independent people. Yeah. And we're very much feminists, and we're women who don't sleep our way to the top. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing too, because #women empowerment, #do whatever you want with your coochie.
If I could, I would. Don't let me lie to you.
Very much.
Don't let me lie to you.
I could, guys. I promise you.
Put me on now.
Oh.
Involve me. Because it was that easy.
It was easy to be. I'm telling you, the amount of money I could be making on OnlyFans right now for me to lick my head is a law. OnlyFans. I'm serious.
You're going far. I don't want to record it. You just take me there. I want to go there.
OnlyFans is OnlyFans.
It's far.
Do you think so? So you guys would never do anything like sexual for money?
I feel like we gave the best response to that. Let me tell you something.
Oh my days.
Like I said, if I could, I would.
If I could, I would.
I'm deeply. No, you wouldn't. No worry. Let me tell you. I'm just saying that. But if the opportunity presents itself, I'm going to run, because I'm deeply entrenched into the culture and values that have been instilled in me.
Yeah, that's true.
I didn't ask for it.
It just is a
but
thing.
I'm deeply entrenched. So there are things that, as much as I say that, I'm an open-minded person, up until 5 years ago, I wasn't open-minded. Yes, right. So I had to. Things have to happen to me for me to be open-minded. And even in my open-mindedness, I've seen people that are more open-minded than me. That when they do, I'll say, but it's a process. Yeah. It took me over 20 years to have that in me. It can't take me 5 years to undo all of that. Yeah. So there are things that I see and I'm still like, no, I can't do. But I want to. But I can't, because I feel like, society.
That's true.
Our values are different.
Our values are very different.
Like our values, or like values versus society's values.
No, the values that we grew up with.
You
can't deeply. You cannot leave it entirely.
Yeah,
that's true. So, moving on.
You nearly wrong me, man.
See why I said it's not a safe space.
You nearly wrong me, man. Just as you called that in my head. Wow. So let me tell you. Do you know, I had to do a skill. Like now, if I talk to people, I say on a scale of Salem to Solomon.
Where are you?
Salem being top.
And so
Yes. So talk to me. If you are not anywhere close to Salem, please just leave me alone.
Leave.
First of all, who is the Solomon Bushi?
So honestly, that's a great question, because Endurance will serve as the audience who's listening, who's
feminist.
American.
He used to be a feminist.
And it changed.
And
what happened? What changed?
Marriage.
No, it's not marriage.
No, I'm just saying.
No, marriage didn't change him.
His takes are very scary.
Yeah.
And very just, I don't know.
He used to be a feminist, and all of a sudden he turned on women. But you know what? All is well with him and his life. God help you in Jesus' name. Amen. I wish you great success in your endeavors. Nice one. Salem.
It's unpopular opinion. I don't think you need to wish your enemies the good.
Oh, I am in it. I'm Nigerian. I have to say that.
Honest, I feel more alive when I'm in Lagos. Like I feel like even though yes, there's a lot of things that are crazy, but I feel more alive. Like, and the trade-off for me is, in America, when you drop out, you're thinking about financial wealth mostly. Like, let me make all this money and be able to take care of my family, my friends, all those things. And then you realize that there are different types of wealth, right? There's definitely financial wealth. There's mental wealth. There's physical wealth. There's social wealth, which is community wealth, and even spiritual wealth. And I remember just realizing, like, if I keep making the choice, which I'd already made for the past 17 years of being in America anyway, of financial wealth, I was like, something is missing. There's a void. I don't know how to articulate it. I don't know how to speak to it. And I also know when I bring it up to people who are just like from us, they're like, wait, I remember when I told them, like, hey, I might be spending more time in Nigeria, I'm moving back. My family, my aunties, they're like, are you a fugitive? Are they looking for you? Are they looking for you? Then you can tell us, like, let's figure out a way to help you. I was like, no, like, I'm actually making this move, and to be honest, it's been such a great move so far. I think you take the first year to settle in, understand the environment, and then the next year was us like launching the podcast and really understanding what value can we add to, to the country, and not from a place of like, oh, we are better than you. It's just saying like, look, we have certain experience. We've gone outside. We've seen things. We've been exposed to certain things. We're not saying all those things are better than here. We're just saying this is the perspective that we have and we're sharing. And if you can learn something from it, even better.
And especially from the world that's changing right now for a lot of us, is America was seen as this like global power. And that's shifting in a way, right? That's power shifting in a way that the passport is not as strong as it used to be, or even Canada or Russia or any of these bigger countries. And wealth is home. And wealth is at home for us now. Like, there's so much beauty and chaos and intelligence and amazingness and all the great things that could be in Nigeria, in Lagos and Abuja and all the states. But there's also a factor of, is home welcoming for these investments, for this space? So as an African, especially as a Nigerian too, what does it feel or look like to have home in two places? Because I know for both of you, home is also America. Like, we choose to go back and visit. What is that welcome like for both of you? And Chika, especially for you, because home, it really is America in a lot of ways, and you found home here. I think one of the biggest culture shocks for me coming back is having to start over. And I know you've mentioned like making new friends, but I feel so American. Like when I talk, I'm like, why am I talking like this? Like, what's going on with me? Like, why am I speaking this way? But spending 10 years in a different country, and you're not going there to the next place ever. It's like different if Nigeria is like the UK, 6-hour flight, boom, boom, I'm back. Sometimes it's 9-15 hours, 2-day journeys to get here. So how are you very intentional about making home in these two places?
Yeah, it's interesting because I had to let go of what it means to live life, right? I think in America, I'll be very honest, America has a very good way of making it seem like this is the only way to live. This is the only way to talk. This is the only way to interact with people. This is the only way how business is done. This is the only way life is happening, right? And I feel like when I first came back to Nigeria, I kept holding on to this American side. I'll never, like, it's little things.
Yeah.
Like, I remember there was this place I used to go to get like yogurt. And I remember they put like grapes, they put like weird things in it. And I remember just being like, that's not how they do in America. So I remember like being like, why are they putting those things? And they're like, no, ma, that's how we do it. And in my mind, I remember I had to keep reminding myself, but this is what I grew up in America. I had to let that go. I still have my moments.
Oh, definitely.
Actually, it's always like, Chica, what's good? I still have my very American ways of living. But I think the moment I let that go, and I said, okay, I'm going to adopt to how Nigerians do things, how we dress, how we talk, how we connect with people. And that's how I started to settle into enjoying it. Putting up in America, I'll be honest, America, a lot of people in the rat race. I didn't want to be in that. Right? Number one, when I decide to have a child, right, I'm going to be honest, a lot of my friends, they're suffering because childcare is expensive. It's hard to have balance. I tell people all the time, the thing for me for Nigeria, and of course, there's a lot of issues with women issues here. So I'm not even going to sit here and act like I know I'm stating from privilege. I want to make that very clear. But I always tell people that in Nigeria, I can be a full woman, right? I don't have a child and all of a sudden I'm just a mother. And I feel like in America, it's hard because it's expensive. It's hard to get care. It's not communal. That the moment you have a child or children, you're now a mother for 18 years. And then
18 years.
Exactly. And then once they enter 50, 40, they're like, okay, now I can live my life as a woman. I don't want that. I don't want to choose.
I don't want to get canceled for this, but am I too loud if I tell you that Nigeria is just not relaxing? Like, Nigeria doesn't feel like fun. Nigeria doesn't feel like it's home for me, but am I too loud if I say that Nigeria it's not as nice as most countries in the African continent? Don't stop. Let me explain, okay? I think I'm putting my shades on like that so they can't drag me by my hair or my eyes, okay? Let me explain what I mean by that, okay? So, I've not been to a lot of African countries. I'll give you that. I've been to Togo, Cotonou, Ghana. And that's it. So I don't feel like it's a lot. So maybe I'm not the best person to speak on this matter. However, what I would like to say is the biggest issue Nigeria has is there's a lot of talent that is not fostered by the government. And so because of that lot of talent, you have really, really cool shit going on in this country, but it's not maintained properly. It's people are frustrated out of their success. People are angry. The government is shitty. And it just makes the environment feel charged. Like, Nigeria feels like a charged space. That's exactly the way to explain it. So let me tell you how this works. I've flown back home. I don't want to say I'm not lucky, but I am not as lucky to have a family home in Nigeria to come back home to, meaning my mom and my brother and I. Like, we do have a house where it's deep, and it's not a convenient location. So first of all, that means I need to find an Airbnb. In Nigeria, to get an Airbnb was going to cost me $5,000 fucking dollars, bruv. 5,000 American dollars. Am I going to stay in the White House? And I swear to you, yes, it was going to be for like 3 to 4 weeks. Maybe I can argue that makes sense. But in what world should it cost me 5,000 American dollars to stay in an Airbnb in Lagos, fucking Nigeria? How? How does that make any sense at all? So first of all, I'm dealing with that. Let me not even start from there. Let me start from something as simple as the airport when you come in, right? Okay, so you land at the airport. This is how, for anyone who's interested in going to Nigeria, this is how it works. You land at the airport. If you are coming by yourself and you don't know anyone, it's already a shit show for you because you go in, immigration is stressing you out. People are already dragging you left and right, asking you for the most mundane things, asking you for bribes, for money, all that stuff. Now, because of this is the issue. Now I'm getting riled up. Now I'm getting upset because in a normal functioning fucking country, guys, if you're not listening to this, if you're listening to this and you're not Nigerian, then you might think this is a weird rant to have. But honestly, this is going to be a very Nigerian episode because I'm in Nigeria right now and I'm Nigerian. I want to rant about this. Moving on. Your girl has been dragged a lot, okay, on Twitter, online, about my comments about Nigeria. I am not taking any comments back, okay? I refuse to take any freaking comments back. But what I will do is realize as I was editing the clips for my episode from last week that I definitely was very negative in that episode, but I think it came from a place of frustration. And what I mean by that is, if you live in New York City, because I live in New York, and if you live in New York, you realize that New York is not all that it cracks up to be. Like, New York is so pretty and so gorgeous, and it's where dreams are made of, and everybody's so happy, but it's overpriced. There are rats everywhere. The subway smells, the subway delays. People are poor. A lot of people are on fentanyl. People get stabbed. People get slapped. JFK is a terrible airport. There's just a lot that you realize about New York that it's not all that it cracks up to be. That is exactly how Lagos is to me too. Like, Lagos is very much a New York, right? It's still very amazing. If you want to have a good time in Lagos, you would. There's special places here. But again, if you want to, you will also struggle a little bit because Lagos also has, not rats necessarily, but Lagos is also chaotic. It's a lot of stress. It's really just like putting a fake facade over the chaos as well that happens here. I like to usually say, like, New York is organized chaos and Lagos is just chaos. Like, that's just what it feels like here. I say all that to say in my last episode, there's a lot of flack that I got because it came off as this entitled American who's visiting Nigeria and has nothing good to say. First of all, I'm not an American. Let's get that shit straight, please. I'm Nigerian just like you. I might not live in the country full time, but I am still Nigerian. I have Nigerian blood running through my veins. Oh, I don't care more banning me. Monique get to do. Omoleni elewele. Ijasha ti already shano ilo wom nanti muno ruko. Ire la nwa ire. Omajimo cross drop. Okay, I'm from Osun State, Nigeria. Like, I left because my mom needed a better place for me. I left Nigeria because I don't think you understand how deep this issue goes. I left Nigeria because I was going to law school to be a lawyer at home. My mom did not want me to travel out. We could not afford to travel out. But I was raped in a university in Nigeria and my peers told me, oh, it happens. That was why I left the country. I said enough is enough. I'm not saying that doesn't happen everywhere else. But I'm saying at some point, the lack of accountability here, the percentage of how much it affects a lot of young women here, you just feel defeated. That's essentially what it is. You feel defeated. And I think in that episode, I felt really, really defeated. I got posted on Twitter talking about the episode. And of course, the comments, especially from the men, were hilarious because people just don't like to be called out. There's this faux... I'll read the comments so you guys understand it. It seems your channel is dedicated to bashing Nigeria for the entertainment of your haters. Okay. How long are you going to continue to do this? How long have you lived in America to be this snotty towards your own country? Do you understand the level of hatred towards Black people in general in America? Last year alone, more than 24,000 people were killed in America due to gun violence. I don't hear you talking about that. I don't hear you talk about the homelessness and crime in America. Why does it have to be negativity towards your own country in all your videos? You allow other African countries who hate your country to come on here and pile on Nigeria while they cannot even talk about the horrendous things going on in their own country. Stop this insanity. Oh, shut up. You know, it's people who are like, why are you complaining that you're bleeding? Well, me too, I'm bleeding. We're both bleeding. You're not wrong. Like, my team sent that comment to me and they're like, guys, are people actually like watching what's going on? Like, what's going on with this episode? They were a bit worried for my response. And every time I get comments like this, I tend to laugh because, first of all, you cannot bully me out of my opinions. And second of all, everything you said there is valid. What is happening in Nigeria is happening in Nigeria. What is happening in America is also happening in America. 2 things can happen at once. 3 things can happen at once. Horrendous things can be happening in Sudan and Congo and Nigeria. I can speak about Nigeria because I'm in Nigeria currently. Tomorrow I can speak about Congo. Because I am not speaking about Congo and America and gun violence in this moment doesn't mean I don't speak about it. Doesn't mean I would never speak about it. That's not how that works. did you guys see the backlash about? First of, you know what? Let me relax. Let me not yell yet. So first of all, Angel Reese becomes the first pro athlete to walk a Victoria's Secret fashion show. The Victoria's Secret fashion show is back for year 2. They did the one last year. I was not invited to that one. They did the one this year. I was not invited to that one at all. Am I hurt? No. I am not hurt at all. I am not in pain at all. Am I hurt? No. Yes, I am. But I was following along a little bit, and Angel Reese is an incredible women's basketball player. If you don't know who she is, she's freaking fantastic. And she, I think, is the first ever pro athlete to walk in the show. And of course, the racists were like, oh, she doesn't have an unattainable body. She should not be one. Okay, so here's the thing. The Victoria's Secret fashion show, when I was a kid watching it, was toxically aspirational. That's the word to use. It was toxically aspirational that we didn't talk about. So it was really skinny blonde models, right, who walked the runway, and they were in itty bitty bras, because in the early 2000s, that's what, and like even in the late 90s, that's what people wanted. Like that's what the, you know, a woman's body was supposed to be looking like, allegedly. So it was toxically aspirational. I don't think people were looking at the body positivity movement the way they do it right now, right? So toxically aspirational. And so that, of course, died throughout the years when folks started looking for real women, real beauty. Shout out to Aerie, A-E-R-I-E. Love Aerie down. Love all my heart. They talk about celebrating real bodies, because I don't know if you guys know this, but women's bodies don't come in one shape and size. Tall. I don't think you know this. Guys, I just started saying tall, okay? We're going to get used to it, I think, for the next 2 episodes. But women's bodies are shaped very differently. Boobs are shaped differently. I have teardrop-like boobs. People have watermelon boobs. People have guava boobs. People have berries. People have no boobs. People have some boobs. Boobs. I like boobs. Sidebar. The point is, people have very different bodies. And, the point is, people have very different bodies. And so I think when the show left, it was because there was a decline in people wanting to see skinny models on screen, and people wanted to see more bodies. And so now they're back, and last year they had not the best representation, but they had some representation. And this year the show opened with a visibly pregnant Jasmine Tooks, who is an incredible model who's 9 months pregnant. She opened the show. And then Angel Reese is a pro athlete. Quen Blackwell is an influencer with an amazing body. We have Gianna, who's an incredible model and influencer as well. Then you have the models that typically walk, and Knock was incredible. Like we have aspirational bodies all around, because every body is aspirational. And there's a lot of conversations now, people saying Victoria's Secret has gotten too woke, that the whole point of the show is that we want to see skinny models, because I don't think that's the case. Because all of us watching, some people might look like those glamorous women, but not all of us do. Reality TV is not something African women do.
No.
So how does that happen?
Girl.
So talking about your dad is even a teacher, a math teacher. Like, so how is it like your family's down? I've seen them in your TikToks. Like, how did that conversation even happen? And then you're in bikinis too, girl. Please.
Can I just tell you, I was terrified. If you watch my entire first season, I feel like I talk about my parents all the time. I'm always like, my mom's not gonna like me doing that. I can't do, like, I'm such like held back, and like I don't even want to say prude, but like I was like, I can't do too much, you know. But even telling them that I was gonna go on a TV show, I was like, because there's 6 of us, right? I have 4 sisters, 1 brother, and I was like, guys, this TV show is called Love Island. I'm about to go on it. They want me to go on. How do I tell mom and dad? Because it wasn't even how do I tell mom and dad, it was how do I ask them?
Because you don't tell, you're asking for permission.
At my big old age, I still couldn't just be like, I'm going. You know what I mean? So I had to just be like, how do I ask them to do this? And surprisingly, weirdly, they were like, okay. I think my dad didn't think I would actually do it. He was just like, all right. And then it like all happened, and it went really well. And so he was like, "All right, I guess it's fine that you do TV."
Really?
Yeah,
I think that's so cool.
Yeah, they definitely surprised me with how like okay they were about it, but.
But also, I feel like it wasn't like a crazy, you're not like doing crazy stuff. I feel like that's also like a huge part of it.
That's because I held back. Because Love Island, like they do like strip teases, they do a lot of stuff. But I just was like always like, ooh. And production ended up knowing that about me. They were like, okay, yeah, we know she's the African girl,
let's
from
not
the
play.
Christian parents, like so yeah.
So strong opinions about the influencer industry, but the influencer industry versus the reality TV industry, what's the most chaotic? Let's use the word chaotic there. Which has been the most chaotic for you?
I think in the influencer space, it's like trying to just like keep afloat almost, because it's like people don't realize it's like, yeah, it looks all like, oh, glamorous or whatever else, but like you still got to pay your bills, and it's like you got to rely on that engagement and like consistency and like all these things, and it's like it's becoming such a what's the word, like almost everybody's doing it. You know what I mean?
It's a rat race in many ways. Yeah,
exactly. So it's like you're still you're like trying to stay relevant, trying to keep those bills paid, get what I mean? And so it's like, yeah, I think with influencing, it's like figuring out what your long-term goal is so that you have that like passive income, so you're not constantly like, oh my god,
what's next?
What's next? Yeah, exactly. And with reality TV, it's like it's almost even scarier because I've been lucky enough to kind of still gotten to do several shows since my first season, and I know that there's certain people who did like their first Love Island season and like that's been it, so it's like. And it's crazy because sometimes I'm like, I'm not even that personality that gives like, I'm gonna fight you, babe. Like, you know what I mean? I'm really not that. So like sometimes it surprised me that like they still would be like, hey girl, we want you to come do this show.
You, please.
But it's like, but that's the beauty of reality TV is that they do need every personality.
Yeah.
They do need somebody. That's why it's always like, just be yourself. Because they need a little bit of everybody.
Yeah, you're gonna find something for you too. I feel that. Reality TV actually exploits people more than it helps them. Do you agree with that? Do you not? Are you in the middle, or do you disagree?
I disagree.
Ooh, tell me more.
I feel like everybody kind of goes into it knowing what they're getting into, and
why
it's
do they
like,
pretend like they don't though? Like, girl, because like
you wouldn't be doing, you know what I mean? People are almost going there to be exploited.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? They
the
want
whole point
the
of it.
fame, they want the clout. So it's like, you know what you're signing up for. So I don't blame. I'm not like reality TV is doing it to you. I think you're like, you know what you're signing up for.
It's true. I feel like I understand if like you underestimated maybe the like, when like maybe you go for like the circle or something, right? And you don't expect it to blow up, and then it blows up and you're like, oh, maybe I thought it was a small show and now it's a bigger deal. Maybe I can see that. For the moment, especially with love shows, I'm like, you've seen people on these shows.
Yeah.
So when you go and come back and you're like, oh, I didn't think that was gonna happen, I'm like, you did. Like, they probably asked you the questions. They told you exactly what you're doing.
They told you what you were walking into. Like, you know,
you do what you were doing, and honestly, they're not chaining your neck to something. Like, it's not the end of the world. Yeah, I feel that. Viewers care more about drama than your mental health.
I agree.
Yeah.
Too loud. Too loud.
Influencer / reality TV money is not as good as the internet thinks it is. No,
I'm like in the middle.
Really? I really feel like, I feel like I want to split this up. I feel like influencer money is good. I don't think reality TV money is as good as influencer money. And let me explain what I mean by that. Like, reality TV isn't like not the deals you get after reality TV, but actually going on the show specifically. Because there's some creators who say they go on reality TV and like they don't have any offers after, so they have to go back to normalcy. Versus like people who are able to then build on their reality TV fame to get brand deals and to become bigger.
I disagree because I think the first season that everybody does, yes, you're paid very, very little to be there.
Yeah.
But after you've kind of like done like, I'll say this. There are certain shows that I've said yes to for the check.
Gotcha.
Like, I'm not just there because I'm like, oh, let me do
this. Yeah, I feel
let me
that.
try again. Let me get heartbroken one more time. You know what I mean? Like the check is good.
Yeah,
You
I
know,
love
so
that.
I have to disagree.
Okay, period. See, look at that. Every reality TV show needs at least one true villain to be iconic.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like that's every
Too
movie.
loud. Yeah,
Like,
we always need a
yes.
villain.
Parasocial relationships are out of control right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Too loud.
Yeah, girl. It's been Reality TV is low-key free therapy for the audience, not the cast.
I wouldn't even say it's free because here's the thing, like there's I don't know.
Ooh.
Yeah, let me be careful. Free therapy for the audience more than the cast.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, I feel like I disagree.
Okay, I like that. I like
so
that.
I feel like for us anyway, in like Love Island or whatever, so we do check-ins every single night with production. Like we talk through everything. There's even moments where we see psych and we'll just go sit for hours and talk.
Yeah.
So it's like, to me, the show does feel like free therapy.
Yeah.
Because you're dating and also getting to talk to somebody about it every day, and like somebody, a specialist, but also production who's kind of seeing both sides, and then your friends who are also in it. So it's like, it really is like
therapy.
Therapy
Like you're going
for real.
through. It feels like you're in a guided space in a way.
Yeah.
Because in the real world, you don't know what's happening
You
in that
don't
person's
know,
head.
and you just gotta
you just gotta wing
it for real.
Okay. But most men don't marry the woman they love the most. We know this one. They marry the woman that is around when they're ready to marry. I saw this shared on Instagram. I wanted to see some male opinions on this, but I want to actually know what your thoughts are on this one. Is the statement completely false, or does it hold some truth? When you tweeted that, I've had conversations happen. It was 2018. People still talk about it till 2025. I know people are still talking about that.
That scarred a lot of people.
A lot of people, a lot of women were
goodness.
upset.
It scarred a lot of people. But funnily enough, it didn't scar me. I think it's because when I asked men for their opinion, I had access to both sides of the coin.
Mm-hmm.
I had access to the opinions. It's always the bad stuff that goes viral, right?
Yes.
So when I was sharing the great ones and I was sharing the bad ones, it's the bad ones everyone wants to freak out about, but they're not necessarily retweeting the good ones.
Yeah.
But there were men who were like, yes, this is so true.
Yeah.
Like, my wife is lovely and I love her, but I loved someone else more and I fumbled her.
That's a crazy thing to tweet.
Yes,
though.
I know. Very crazy. There were guys that were like, oh, I wasn't in love with my wife, but she was a good woman. I knew that she'd cook, she'd clean, she'd take care of the kids. And I married her for that reason. There were men who were like, oh, I was getting old. I didn't want to be alone. And I just married this girl because I knew she'd like me for ages.
Yeah.
But on the flip side, there were men that were like, I married my dream woman. I met this woman. I was like, this is my everything. There were men who were like, I've loved this girl from day one. There were men who were like, I wasn't ready to marry when she wanted to marry, but I had to summon up intentionality because there was no way I was going to fumble this woman. I was going to lose this woman. I married the love of my life. So do I think it's at the time, what did I think? Because I was asking what people thought.
Yeah.
Do I think it was most men? No, I think it's many men. I don't think it's most. I think it's many. I think if I had to assume, I'd probably say about 50-50. And 50 is still a scary number, right? But I think, to be controversial, a lot of women do this too.
Yes.
I think there are a lot of women who aren't married to the men that they love the most or loved the most.
Yes.
But they married men who they felt like, oh, he's a good choice.
It's stable.
Yes, he's stable.
He'll be a good father.
And the
He'll
thing
do
is, we
this.
want stability, but we also want stability and love, right? That's the ideal.
Can you have both?
Pardon?
Can you have both?
Oh yeah, I have both.
Yeah,
hell yeah, like
absolutely,
absolutely. And I think having both also comes with having maturity, because I think that you can never have both if you're an immature person, because you will see stability as boring.
Ooh.
Stability will not entice you.
Yeah.
You will assume stability means absence of passion. But when you are mature in the way you navigate love, you understand that actually stability and passion can coexist. And there's passion in being grounded in your person feeling like home. Like, that's one of the most passionate things, I think.
Yeah.
Like finding home in a person. But if you're emotionally immature, you think this is boring. We don't argue. It's not spicy. I'm bored. And you might think the person you love the most was the roller coaster relationship because it pulled all your emotions out of you.
Yeah.
When in reality, you just aren't emotionally mature enough to value the stability of a healthy relationship. So yeah, you can definitely have both, but you need to be mature to appreciate the both together.
Yeah, that's so right. I also think about it from like the perspective of how we grow up, right? Because for a lot of times, men are raised to be providers financially. They're chasing that financial goal. And then for women, it's like, or at least for my culture, our culture, it's finish school, even if some people don't even send you to school, get married, be a mother, and that's it. So in that situation, if a man is coming to you, you're like, well, that's all I'm supposed to be doing. And I see that now, thankfully, in 2025, it's shifting where you have independent women. Like I just saw research studies showed that in America, at least, like there's more kids being born for 40 plus old women.
I saw that.
And that put a smile on my face.
Me too. I'm 36. I put a massive smile on my face. As someone who hasn't started, I'm like, great.
Now we have time. Because we've been told that, like, you know, your early 20s is when you're supposed to be the baby pumping machine. Yeah. And this is like no knocks to folks who, you know, get married early or give birth early. But the idea is like, that's when you're supposed to have the family and all that stuff. And I'm like, my early 20s, I did not know who I was.
At all.
I don't even, like, even now, I'm 28, guys. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, half the time, I'm trying to figure this shit out.
I'm 36, and people think I know what I'm doing. I'm still trying to figure stuff out. Yeah.
So imagine, and then when we see our moms who are, like, now, who then we're just surviving.
Yes.
And there's so much blame and so much shame that they carry. And I oftentimes wonder, like, I wonder what would have been like for them if they actually took the time to learn who they were, what they wanted, how to love, how to get loved. I wonder what the difference would have been. So it's very interesting.
It is very interesting. As a woman, you shouldn't view a relationship as if it's something that will save you or define you, right?
Yeah.
But I think in my 20s, when I saw relationships like that, it was very easy to be anxious because it's like, if it's not working out, you're stripping away my future. You're stripping away my future.
We planned all these things. What happens next? Yeah.
Like, oh my God, my life is not going to look how it's supposed to look because I kind of planned it around you, right? When I had my own life and I was like, working on my career, I was writing my books, I was creating like a name for myself. I was like, this is lit. Like my life is lit with or without someone. Yeah. So now when I met someone that I am spending the rest of my life with, it was easier to be secure because it's like, you know what? I'm gonna give my all, you're gonna give your all. But if this doesn't work out, life still finna be lit. Like I still have my life. You like my life is not defined by you. And even with me getting married soon, my partner is the love of my life. Like he's absolutely amazing. God forbid anything happened to him, I would be distraught. Like you probably would not see me again, right? I would absolutely be distraught. But with that said, what I love about this relationship is that my life is not defined by his presence in it.
Yeah.
His presence contributes to added joy, added warmth, added laughter, added happiness. Yeah. My life is so much more beautiful with him in it. Yeah. But before him, it was still beautiful. And I think that's what drew him to me anyway. And that's what draws me to him. Like, he's happy with or without me. Yeah. Happier with me, but happy with or without me. And I think when you get to that place, it's much easier to be secure.
And you know what's actually been really... What I've really been loving as of late is this like quarter zip. I don't know if you've been seeing the trend. I've been loving that. I've been loving that because I feel like young black men need to like see themselves in positions that like empowers you. Yeah. Like you don't have to put nobody else down. You don't have to speak to people in a vulgar way. You don't have to, and it's just an energy frequency. I feel like I'm just so happy about that whole trend. Like it makes me so happy.
Is that on your FYP?
It's actually on my FYP. Yeah. I love it so much. Like it's so fire. So fire.
Cool. Okay, tell me one from your homework.
Yeah, mine is definitely that quarter zip. Let me see.
And another thing, I'm a quarter zip dude now. Simple. I don't do that Nike type stuff what y'all little boys do. I can't do that. I'm elegant. I'm classy. For me, like.
Yes. Like it's so fire. It's so fire. And I don't even think people understand like where this trend, like the potential that it has. Yeah. Because it's now so many young black men are like, oh, it's okay to be professional. It's okay to appear educated. It's okay to be clean cut and groomed. Yeah. And I love that. I really, really love that. Like I love that. Like, I love that because I feel like usually the way I create content, I don't really do anything. I don't follow.
You don't do trends.
I don't ever do any trends. This is the only trend that I'm like, you know what? I actually want to hop on this trend. You know what I'm saying? So it's just dope.
No, I love that. I feel like it's so interesting that you bring that up because a lot of the black men I know are all in tech in Silicon Valley and all these places, but you don't really see them online because I don't think it's cool for them. But shit like this is happening now. You're like, yeah, finally.
No, it's
people are
fire.
seeing it.
It's fire. Like seeing young black men in quarter zips. It's tough. Because it's like everybody grew up. Even myself grew up like wearing Nike tags and you know what I'm saying. So. Just seeing it's just so beautiful, honestly.
Okay, so I have another video I'm about to pull up for you, and this one is I think one of my favorites you've done so far.
Muslims are not your enemy, and Islam is not this violent ideology that's coming to take over and changing your way of life. That's not how it is at all. You are better off probably having a Muslim neighbor than anyone else. And not to say that Muslims are perfect. We are not perfect. We are imperfect and flawed, just like any other human being out there. Muslims have been dehumanized so much for the action of just few that don't represent Muslims or Islam at all, whose victims are Muslims more than anyone else. There are 2 billion Muslims, more than 2 billion Muslims in the world. If every Muslim wanted to harm you, the world would be over. As Muslims, we want to become the best version of ourselves, contribute to society, and worship God. If you want to study and understand Islam, pick up the Quran. It has been translated in many languages, so you can get the direct word yourself. And another thing, please don't use other people's cultural practices to represent Islam, because it does not. Another talking point that's completely false is that Islam oppresses women. Islam does not. Islam gave women the right to education, the right to home ownership, the right to inheritance, and so many other rights. And lastly, Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said the most perfect of believers are those who are best in conduct and kind to their families. That is what Islam represents. And I urge for you to just pick up the Quran and read for yourself. I read the Bible myself, the book of Proverbs to be exact. In Islam, we are encouraged to seek out knowledge and educate ourselves the best way that we possibly can. So please be mindful of the rhetoric that you spew out there.
So I watched that and I loved it so much. But also I think we've actually never talked about this, but I'm Muslim, right? But I am not a practicing Muslim anymore. And in the video before this video that's coming out, I think maybe 2 videos, I'm not sure when your episode is coming out, but I talked about how organized religion is a scam. Not religion and not faith, but organized religion itself, because I fear that we put so much emphasis on humans leading us to some level of heaven or aspiration in that way, that we forget that religion and faith is such a personal endeavor. It's such a personal quest. So seeing you talk about that, especially because I was also in Nigeria when Trump did the whole Christian nationality, we're going to come and save Christians in Nigeria, come and save us. And I remember thinking that being Muslim, because a lot of people ask me to, like, oh, why don't I say I'm not Muslim anymore? Because I'm like, I would always be Muslim. At my core, I'm always going to be Muslim. I've also read the Bible. I've also read the Torah. Like, I've always been seeking knowledge, but I always struggle with the way it's portrayed in the media, especially because humans are such vile creatures sometimes, and the way we weaponize culture and religion to our end. So how does it feel to be like a Muslim man in America around this particular time?
I feel the way I create content is I feel like many other people can kind of like relate to as well. Ideas just come to me and I just act upon them. But one thing I realized though is that like Islam is such a beautiful religion, and it has done so much for me. Like I was born and raised Muslim, but I've had to kind of like rediscover it on my own, kind of, you know, and just understanding like how it's done, it's done such a disservice, kind of like throughout especially within the West. One of the things that I've kind of been talking about as of lot lately, I actually made another video, kind of like a follow up of that, is the fact that like religion, or especially the Islamic religion, has been used, or extremism, I should say, as a political vehicle in most of the places than it is like a religious thing. Like I don't know of any practicing Muslim that would say that anything that an extremist does is something that is right, or something that Muslims stand for. You know what I'm saying? But the way they say, oh, the Muslims, and especially since 9/11 happened, right? Is like all Muslims are kind of like put under this same umbrella.
Yeah.
When in reality, like it's like the way they describe Islam is nothing compared to what Islam actually is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I feel like people are actually now starting to wake up and realize like, yo, what have I been taught all this time?
Yeah.
You know, about this religion or these people, and what are some of the things that are fabricated to kind of like make me not like them or make me hate them.
Yeah.
And I think especially there's this video that I was watching I was watching recently with this it actually went viral on TikTok. This lady that was calling like churches and
I saw that. Yeah,
and
that's what it was in the FRP
right?
too. Yeah.
And then it's just like people are starting to see that like the true love and compassion that a lot of Muslims have.
Yeah.
We're not perfect,
Yeah.
you know, and but we are people that try, and we absolutely love and really would help out any and every single person that we possibly can.
Yeah.
You know, so to me, I'm grateful. I'm really grateful to be Muslim, and I also feel I get what you're saying in terms of like the organized religion aspect of things, but I feel like Muslims also know this for the most part is a deeply personal journey,
Yeah.
you know, and it does happen to be in Islam. There are certain, you know, protocols that are supposed to be followed that, you know, I'm trying my best to adhere to a lot of the principles, you know, and really do my best. But at the end of the day, heaven is not necessarily for the in Islam, there's this saying that like that heaven necessarily is not for the perfect person, or not is not for the person that doesn't sin. You only get into heaven mainly because of God's mercy. You know, and I feel as though one of the things that I try my best is just to become the best person that I can possibly become, and become a contributing member of society, and then, you know, try my best to shy away from the sin. We all sin in some capacity, in some way, shape, or form. And so how do I just try to be better than I was yesterday? That's my overall goal every single time.
I love that. Okay, you were talking, I just thought about this. You sound like someone who has their shit together. And for a lot of people, like, that is something that sometimes they feel like they can't relate to. So what is something that you consider, and this is not even part of my questions, a vice or something that you really still struggle with?
What is a vice? I guess sometimes distraction.
Okay. Is it like social media?
Social media can be a distraction.
What would you, I feel like, what do you watch? I can't imagine what your FYP looks
My
like.
FYP is just like, I watch a lot of political
things
sometimes.
Okay, I can see
Or
that.
sometimes it's just like funny stuff. Like I love watching like the Nigerian skits. Like Mr. Funny.
You
like
do love Nigerians.
Yeah, I love
Nigerians.
Nigerians. Like I'm obsessed with Nigerians.
And we're chaotic.
Funny enough, I'm actually supposed to go to Nigeria in December.
You coming?
Yeah. I'm gonna be in Abuja though, I think. Yeah,
Abuja is fun. Yeah. Abuja is gonna be a vibe. Well, you should come to Lagos though, even if it's for 2 days.
Yeah, I might.
Yeah, it's not far. It's like 40 minutes. Plus, are you gonna fly straight into Abuja?
I think so. Somebody else is booking my
Oh,
flight.
yeah.
So
Let me
I
know.
might. But I love watching like the skip makers. I can legit just stay on Instagram for hours and just watch it. That's definitely a vice of mine. What other vice would I say I have? This is not to like try to say I'm perfect. Trust me, I'm
No, I feel like, oh damn, that's it.
Yeah, I feel like another vice that I would say I've struggled with is just disciplining myself from women.
Yeah,
and not necessarily even just being with women, but even talking to women or like trying my best to not entertain women to that capacity.
Well, how you get married?
Nah, yeah, I would talk to, but like just not trying to like dibble and dabble and doing all of that. I just feel as though like, I love women. Like I really and truly love women, and I feel like that's one of my biggest weaknesses. Truly.
So you're working on that.
Yeah, so I'm working on like just disciplining myself from not necessarily like, just yeah. So.
You're one of the women now who's like, you're doing your own thing and you're killing and you're so successful. But one thing I want to say is, Joy, you're very quietly successful. Is that intentional, or do you just think that?
What does quietly successful mean? I'm so curious.
You're not flashy.
Okay.
You're not loud. And I mean loud not in the sense of like voice loud, but more of like you're trying to tell the world what you've done. You don't celebrate your accolades loudly. It's more of a quiet thing. Is that an intentional thing? Is that like from like, oh, my village people should not come and see what I'm doing here? Like, where does that come from?
I let my success, my work speak for itself, right? Like
I love that.
if you dig into my page, if you watch my stuff, if you know, then you see, okay, she's someone who has been one of the biggest publications in the world. Forbes has listed up as top 50 creators in the world, right? Like you see my Nissan collaboration, you see like my work. I let my work speak for itself because you can talk and you talk, but you can't back it up, right?
That's true.
And also I come from parents who are very humble. My parents are very, very successful. My mom, she's an ambassador. She was an ambassador, Nigerian ambassador to Austria and Slovakia, 2 countries in one term, right? My dad is really big in politics back home in Nigeria, but they don't lead with that. They lead with like how they can impact people, and that's why I'm very impact driven. The only time I'll ever say I've done like something massive and really, really big to show people is when I did like back home in Nigeria in Maraba. It's like outside of Abuja. I did my NYSC there. And
Maraba Kiss Daniel. That's where I've heard that from.
Oh,
so
yeah, okay, yeah. Oh, no way. That's my favorite. That's my favorite artist, actually, Kiss Daniel. So I did my NYSC there as a teacher, and I went back there to like support the school and do them a big Christmas party because it's a very poor community.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, if I'm gonna do something to show that I have money, it's not for to show I have money. It's more to like, how can I use my money to help other people? So that was the only time I ever did something really, really big. I did a big Christmas party, bouncy castle, Father Christmas, and Santa Claus, Father Christmas, you know, face painting, all those things, and it was like, yeah, philanthropy is very important to me. I'm gonna give back to these kids because they need it more. So I don't know. I'm not really a flashy person, but it's a way to show my flashiness. Is like if I'm gonna help someone like do a scholarship or something like that. That's
you guys
the way I
understand why I'm telling you she's the coolest person on earth. She's over here like, oh yeah, I'm really not like loud, but if I'm going to be loud, it's like I'm gonna give back like that. Like I'm telling you, not a lot of people our age think like that, especially when they come into the amount of money that we come into.
I think on some level it might be a chicken and egg thing. I think there's something about the call of the wild that calls to certain people that are willing to answer the call. It takes a lot of courage. And courage is a very like underrated thing because like, you know, like love is very like front and center, and like kindness.
It is underrated.
Yeah, but like you need courage.
That hits home. No, that hits home.
No matter how he look, he said it is.
He's like, yeah, because
I feel courageous.
Yeah, you need courage to practice everything else anyway. So I think there's something about it. It's not as soon as I came here, as soon as I saw like I got a little bit of what the lay of the land was in America, I called him immediately. Like, do you want to come to America? Because he had a much better chance of surviving at home.
Yeah.
I would have died in Nigeria, and but not physically, but like my soul would have died in Nigeria. There was nothing there for me.
Yeah.
There was nothing there for me. But you could have found a way to like thrive.
He was already thriving.
He was already like, he took like a huge like life downgrade in coming here and starting all over again. I already like I had nothing to lose. I was literally going to die there, and I didn't even know how much I would change when I got here. But I just knew that like I don't know what it is, but yeah.
You know what's crazy? I feel like that's it. I feel like we could go so deep into it, and we have a lot to even cover about 2026 and growing up. But there's so much to be said about, because we're 3 immigrants who've come into a country, and there's a lot of conversation about even not us being here, but how much opening our eyes has inspired us to dream differently and to see things differently. And this is so deep, but there's a conversation to be had about either succeeding, you know, the crab in the bucket mentality, where you all know the same thing, you live the same way, and then you fight, you're all fighting each other, versus someone can go out and be like, oh, it actually is better there. We can take from here and then put it there and build ourselves up. How do we find the courage to even do that? To like, for people who can't leave their current circumstances, how can they still find the courage to be the best version of themselves with what the cards they're being dealt?
Damn. So see, answering that question it's easy, but it's also difficult, right? Because I think one of the blessings that I think like I had when I was like making those decisions is that like I did not grasp my reality. I didn't really understand what was going on in the moment.
Okay.
Right? Like, and this is something that we discuss a lot, because when we moved to this country, like it was a different like life shift, like from comfort coming here, and like And even though we were technically suffering,
It didn't register.
do you understand? Even though we were suffering, it didn't register that like, oh, you're actually suffering right now.
Sorry, guys.
Right? Like, because, and I think that's why for me, as someone who isn't like a believer, right? I've always found comfort in family and community. And when you have family like that, I never felt at a loss.
Yeah.
Do you understand what I mean? So it's like, I think that's why it was easier to make those decisions. But I imagine someone who puts a lot of weight around like why people who like are actually living in their reality, right? Let's say they're older, or even if they're younger, if you're like 16 making those decisions and like you're really thinking about like, okay, what is the impact? What impact would this have to my friend? Am I going to miss this friend?
Yeah.
And maybe like there's selfishness, maybe there's like just like openness, like maybe there are a lot of things around that, but I think that's what made that decision like easy than like for other people. And there's also the economical aspect of it, right? It's like the opportunity, right? Having the opportunity to be able to make that choice versus people who can't.
Yeah, that's true.
I think for people that are back home, I don't want to like say what I'm going to say and make it sound like I believe that people are predestined to be brave enough to follow their path or not be brave at all, because you know, because like you said, there are circumstances that lead to, sorry guys, so that lead to like people choosing all the paths that they choose, being aware, being hungry for knowledge, or like, you know, not to mention like being brought up in the kind of home where we were fortunate enough to be neglected in a way that made us
inquisitive.
Yes.
Okay.
So like I always say, like everybody,
but not realize that we're neglected.
Yes, anyone who knows me in real life knows that like I've been watching TV since I have been born. My dad like used to pay for. We used to joke about it. He used to pay for like the full DSTV bouquet, and you don't know how much value there is in having access to the full DSTV bouquet until you go out in Lagos and you talk to people that don't have that access, and you're talking about certain things that you've seen on TV in different parts of the world, and they're like. So it's a form of education that like isn't counted as education, but it puts like a hunger in your soul where like the child just knows that like they are meant for more. It's ingrained in them because they just know that like what they're seeing is real life, but it's like it's one small part, or they know that like that's not all life was. So I'm not going to use myself as an example. I'll use like some of the friends Nigerian friends that grew up in Ibadan. And I just said Ibadan, like Ibadan is like some village, but they grew up in...
No, but yeah, for the most part. Compared to like most big cities, there's a different, like Ibadan now is growing, but like Ibadan is not Lagos in any way, or even Abuja.
Yeah, but friends like, you know, like my friend Aisha, the friends that I ended up being the closest to when I got to Ghana, I'm using Aisha as an example. Aisha and I like... Part of the reason why we bonded is because we were the only people that understood how the obsession with CW, like TV shows were, and that like there are many people who will be like, oh, I've seen the show because like they've bought like the DVD with like 6 episodes in some market or something. But like she was the first person that knew that like all these different shows were all CW, and CW used to be was Warner Brothers, and was so things like that. But Aisha is in a very... When I finally reconnected with her last year, it was not shocking to me that she's a full feminist.
Yeah,
it was not shocking to me that like I think she's in Belgium now. It was not shocking that like at some point like Nigeria just wasn't. She was like, no, I have to go. There's a hungry, but a lot of it is upbringing. But there's a very small percentage of people who just have it in them, like they have the hunger. I'm not one of those people. I think I'm very suggestible, and if I was born under very different circumstances, I wouldn't have known that I was missing out on an entirely different life, I don't think.
Oh, interesting. I feel like I can see that too, because when you talk about like following your mom and being Christian and then reading away, I really think for a lot of people the difference between the life you want and the life that you're currently living is curiosity. I don't think a lot of people are curious enough, because curiosity means you're not scared of the unknown.
Yes.
And to control people, you have to be scared of the unknown. Like that's how the world works. Like gay people are scary, trans people are scary, atheist is scary, Russia is scary, China is scary, Nigeria is scary, South Africa is scary. Like
Burkina Faso is scary, Congo is scary,
It's all
Palestine is scary, Israel is scary. Like,
it's all scary.
it's all scary. And so if you're in your own bubble, then you can't go past that, because for you it's like, why would I go to somewhere that could potentially burn me when I'm safe here? But there's so much growth that is outside of the fear, because you learn so much, and it's still scary, right? But I think you can see us like on the couch when we're having conversations, it's not from a place of closed-mindedness, like, at all. Like, in fact, if anything, like, I could be having the same conversation with someone who is full-blown Christian, who believes in God and everything else, and there's no ounce of judgment in me, just curiosity. Because for me, it's like, how do you arrive at that conclusion? I respect that you arrive at that conclusion if you're able to tell me exactly how you arrived at it, and I can move on from it, because for me, you understand what you're in. And I think about this from people who are also looking for their goals, how people are able to just lock in but also be curious. It's something that it can't be taught. I think that's where the conversation of like, you have to sort of be born with it, but it can be taught, but it could be learned. It could be fostered. It could be fostered if you put your mind to it, if you're open to it. So we're going to transition into fear.
You know what's crazy? It's like, guys, I'm having a existential out of body experience.
Okay.
Because I produced the show too, every time like I'm writing and I'm also on the show, it's weird because I can see it from all angles. And like we're also tapped in because it's like, it's interesting how fear came into the conversation, because while I was thinking about the episode, that's why we put fear there, because I'm like, this feels like the next thing. So it's kind of like confirming how like it just flowed in, and then you two just like tapped into that. That's why I gave you the high five. I'm like, it's
such a strange man.
I think one of my biggest fears is probably that I will die and no one would have seen me. Which that's like the easiest way I can say it, but I don't know how, because I'm very me, but I am very careful about how I'm expressing like all the different facets of me, and so I don't there is a see me in full, I don't know, like some kind of like, I don't know if you've seen those yoga I'd like Ayurvedic posters where the person has like, they're sitting down and it's like it's one being, but then they're like multiple
people,
beings,
like around,
you know. So it's like I always wonder if like someone will ever see like a fully integrated, I mean, I guess that person could be myself, if I will ever like see like a fully integrated version of myself, and not like all the different like parts that you can collect from different people. I don't think so. I think it's a very romanticized version of love that I have in my head, but it is it is a, you know, it's also, I mean, obviously needs therapeutic inputs into that.
I hear what you're saying in terms of like wanting to be seen fully. I think I'm scared of looking stupid. And
what?
Do you think you're better than women?
Hey! Whoa! No, but I don't know why. I don't know why.
No, because I feel like I think you think you're better than women.
No,
Let me explain. No. Let me unpack that.
Oh my God, I don't.
Because what you just communicated to me now is she was not worth my time.
That's not true.
Yes, because you did not treat her like a human being.
Right, and that's bad.
Yeah, no. I know that at the base level.
No.
I'm saying now you're a better man.
We've talked.
Then I know, but I'm saying then. Because what you just said right now is when women were pursuing you at that point, and I think that's where the power dynamic comes into play. Right. When they're pursuing you at that time, don't know, you're tensed up.
I'm shaking, man. That's okay. No, because it's like, it's also,
you're learning.
I'm also hearing it out loud, right?
Yeah.
I'm saying
as you said it, and I get it, because as you were talking, I was like, this is how a lot of men talk, right? Because again, the power is typically in the man's hand. Like the patriarchy works that way, to where like even her shooting her shot in that way, she was very nervous because of course he's not going to respond, and that's going to drive her crazy. But again, that's why I said it's really hard for women and men to be platonic friends unless they're seeking something, right? Because I don't understand a woman who would choose actively to be friends with a woman, because that's a lot of work you have to do to teach a man to unlearn a lot of the things that he's been taught from a really young age. Because a lot of men don't respect women to begin with. And this is not even me, this is not hyperbole, this is facts. Like, men aren't raised to respect women. They're raised to think they're better than women, because then women are supposed to be subservient to them, which again is absolutely false. Right. So in this conversation that you're talking, when you were speaking, unintentionally you were like, yeah, like, unless I want to chase after, like, I'm not going to engage. But in that scenario, a simple, I was just being a good friend, I'm not really interested in you. And of course, if you're listening to this and you're really young, or you're a guy or a girl, whatever, and you're interested in just understanding like how to play that situation, it makes sense to be like, hey, I'm so sorry, I'm really not that like interested in you. However, like, you're a good friend. Like, if this is terrible friend zoning, like, I'm so sorry. Like, I when you're coming, I'll give you dinner. You know what I mean? Like, soften the blow of rejection. No, because I know for a fact you're also like the ghoster. Right?
Yeah,
And but again, that also comes from a lot of people not having the emotional bandwidth to actually understand conversation. It made you uncomfortable.
Right, I was uncomfortable and like.
But also that's because like you didn't grow up navigating the emotions that come with womanhood and girlhood, right? Women don't grow up understanding how growing up as a man or identifying as a man work in this situation. We don't grow up learning about each other.
And you're also not constantly thinking about the other person.
Yeah.
Like, because this like ghosting thing for me, it's like, yo, if people were to come out and say, oh, this is something that Donald it's like, I would ghost you.
See, I never ghosted people.
Oh my God.
I'm the over communicator. Yeah. I'm the one who's going to explain to you exactly what happened and why it happened, because of this happened. That's exactly why I did. I feel like I have to over explain to not hurt your feelings.
I would say, I think that's one thing that I've definitely benefited from our friendship.
Yeah.
It's like learning how to like communicate and like.
Because when we first became friends,
you know what I'm saying is not BS.
Oh, like, I used to call it out all the freaking time. Like, I used to force this man to talk.
And you know what I'm doing it because it's like I would literally just like,
be quiet.
Yeah.
He zones out. He don't just zone out. Like, he's looking at you, but he's not. Yeah. Like, he's over the conversation. Like, he's just like, can I be done? And I'm always like, no, you're gonna sit here, you're gonna listen. Have you ever had long-term, purely platonic friendships with women? And what do you think made them work? Or is there always a risk that one side will catch feelings? What do you think, Donald? This is for you.
No, this is for you.
Do you think men and women can generally be friends? Have you ever had a long-term platonic relationship with women? It's talking to a man.
I have.
Who? That's like an owl.
I have a couple of friends in Nigeria.
You've not seen them?
Yeah, I have.
That can't count.
But even when we were living in Nigeria, right? Like
you were young. You're not grown now. Sorry, I'm just not
when
gonna
I
take
say
this.
young, like when I was in university.
Yeah, it was that. You're still young.
True.
Yeah, it was that you were in 18. Like outside of, again, a controlled environment.
Yeah, but the truth is, we weren't friends.
Exactly.
Right.
That's what she's saying. Like, could you generally be friends? Honestly, yes.
Right?
Because my ex's best friend, I'm really, really close to now. And it's generally a platonic relationship. Like, we call, we chit chat, we talk, and there's nothing going on.
Right.
But I will say it oftentimes works out when the person is like taboo. Like, I'm never going to date my ex's best friend. So it's much easier and it's a comfortable relationship because you can trust that the other side can't catch feelings. So you feel safe.
Especially when they're married too.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, you would know. I don't think so. People cheat even in marriages.
True.
Yeah, so I don't think that matters. I honestly don't think so. I think it's far-fetched to, of course, like, there's no absolute in the world, right?
What is platonic, right? It's like, are they talking every day?
No, because like the friendships that I have, that I'm not talking to them every day.
Okay.
But so of course you can have a female friend, but in this situation we're definitely talking about
like
a genuine good long-term friend that you can depend on. Yeah, I think that's possible. I also just think that there's always going to be boundaries set. Like, I'm not going to bed on the phone with my boy best friend. Like, we're not falling asleep on the phone. We're not like hanging out and holding hands. We're not going to dinner. You know what I mean? Like, we're not doing those things. And funny enough, my ex, and this is, I don't know why, he's a good example of this because he has a lot of female friends and there's all platonic. Like, I still get calls to this day, like, how does he have these many friends? And it was never an issue in our relationship because the friends always just made sure I was included, but also he had such intentional boundaries with them that they just knew what was up. And when they always crossed the boundary, he was always very quick to set those boundaries. So I think a lot of times these relationships just don't work out because there are no boundaries set,
right?
Essentially. Yeah.
Let's see some of the answers here.
Their answers?
Yeah.
Ooh, Okay, one answer says, Build 1975 says, it's impossible to turn off nature. Okay. When hormones start to form, there isn't much that you can do but create a little distance. Other than that, I wouldn't know why men and women wouldn't be able to just be friends. Friendship is based on other things than sexual attraction. That is true. Again, that's where boundaries come from. If you're mistaking care and support for love or affection, it makes sense for you to pull back, regulate, and then come back. And even in like female friendships, there are times where you get overwhelmed. Maybe this person is frustrating you or this and that. It's oftentimes a good way to pull back, take a step back, recalibrate, regulate, and then come back into the relationship. I think we all need to learn boundaries and space in friendships and like relationships in general. Like I think romantic relationships, when people ask for space, people get really scared and terrified. But then I always say, let's talk about this, Donald.
Okay.
Me and Donald had a fight, right? And we did not talk for how long? Was it
6 months?
Right?
Yeah.
And I think we needed that space to be stronger friends.
That's true.
I don't think we would have been. So essentially, Donald like hurt me real bad. And I just knew that for us to go past that hurt and just for us to like deal with it, we needed a space. But I was so sure that if we were meant to be friends, we'll come back to each other.
Mhm.
And we ended up doing it in 5 months. I think a lot of times, even in romantic relationships, people get too scared to lose the other person. They don't want to take the risk of putting that space in. But if you're scared that someone is going to lose interest in you because you stopped talking for 5 months, 6 months, whatever, I don't think you should be friends in the first place. Because then that relationship is not strong enough to withstand anything.
Right.
Like the idea that you need to be up under someone, whatever that person is to you, doesn't necessarily like appeal to me.
Right.
Okay.
It's like the string that you're holding on to is not strong
It's not strong enough. And it can be and it should be, right? Like essentially like relationships should be they should ebb and flow. Like
They're not easy.
They're not. Relationships are not easy.
Yeah.
I like that.
Like, next answer.
I find myself uncomfortable around women who clearly just want to be friends because I've honestly never had to deal with such a situation before. I enjoy their company but don't always know what to talk about. I'm so used to just having friendships with men. This is from someone called Man-Made Margarine. That makes sense.
That was me.
You're a Man-Made Margarine?
No. I am not margarine. That was me. Like,
wait, before you say it,
mm-hmm.
A response to that is a male man whose name is Ever Vigilant One. The reason you find yourself uncomfortable, I don't know, around women who clearly just want to be friends is that women don't tend to want male friends. They want male appliances and tools. They want to have those men available for their use when they need them. Otherwise, they have no want or use for the men they call their friends.
That's a different angle. That's not wrong. Oh.
And then Man-Made Margarine responds, you're not understanding it. We're both autistic. But she has the yapping, What? She has the yapping without caring. Whether the other is interested in the variance, I have the silent but mentally aware of everything happening in the room all at once kind. I enjoy listening to yap, but I'm too focused on everything all at once. So it just becomes overwhelming. I don't really know when things are jokes or not. I often laugh at the wrong moment. So this is a whole different conversation in general that he's talking about. So we're going to focus on the first two. I really read really fast, you guys. I am so sorry.
No, it's okay.
I'm a terrible I read so fast.
What Margarine is on?
That's like Margarine is going through some. Margarine is just I don't think it's a male and female thing. I think Margarine just does not like the friend, or like their communication styles is very different. But that's not the point. Let's talk about what Ever Vigilant One says. Women just want male friends who are appliances and tools. When you have a man who does not know how to communicate, the best way to engage in that is to find a tool, like a use for the relationship. It's true. Like, think about it. Like, men want women for something the same way women want. Like, friendships are like that. I know a friend who if I need to go out today, I know who to call. If I need some support, I know who to call. If I need some money, I know who to call. If I need someone to help me put up my TV, I don't fault women who do that, because that's oftentimes also like a means to an end. Like, okay, if I can't talk to you about my emotions, at least you're going to help me do something. Because I know, like, there are times where I'm like, I need to take the trash out, and I'm like, who's my guy friend here? Or if there's a cockroach on the floor and I want to kill my friend.
Because, like, I think men are genuinely useful.
Yeah.
If you can, it's like a tool and an appliance.
Yeah, I feel like I don't like the names or the description of men.
It's not good, but like a tool is like something that
you're helpful.
you kind of need to direct.
Yes. Okay, let's go to another person's response. God, this question comes up so often. Yes, men are more than capable of having platonic friendships with women. I have many such with women who are objectively attractive but who I've never had the slightest romantic sexual interest in. You're going to get into a bunch of guys in here saying, no, you definitely can, because that happens every time this question is asked. I just always feel kind of sorry for them. Many of the friendships that I have with both men and women stretch back a good 20 to 30 years. I told you, it's because they met them young. It's not even that it's impossible to have such friendships. It's normal. Thank you. I like not that guy 6'250".
You think he's in church?
What do you mean? Like he has church friends?
Not that guy. No, because like if you're in church and like you're in community.
No, even that. Like I feel like it goes back to my earlier point that male and female friendships only tend to work when like you've known the person from a really young age. Right? Because you're able to navigate learning them and how you meet them. Because friendships also are like how you meet. Like we already talk about like making friends as an adult is really hard. So imagine then growing up, being in your mid-20s and then trying to make friends and you find some guy who like it's hard to communicate. Why would you be friends with that? You know what I mean? Like it's going to be harder for you to bridge that gap and be friends with that person who's not able to communicate with you because they just don't know how to be friends with you, right? It's just a bit harder. But if you've known them for a while, it's much easier because then you have an excuse to stay around, I think.
Do you think someone can be friends, platonic friends, with their ex?
Yes.
I agree.
Yes, for sure.
Between men and women,
Yeah.
I think it's easier to be friends when
you've gone past that.
Yes.
Yes. Oh my God, yes. I think 100%. That is true.
Because I have exes that I'm genuinely like friends with.
Because I also feel like it's because human beings don't have control, right? Like so we're raised, again, going back to like how we're raised like the idea is like, you know, men and women, boy and girl, whatever, like you should like each other, you like the person, It's never really platonic, right? Because again, the end goal in like the path of a human being is to get married and have children.
Because you still have organs.
Because you have, not even organs. It's just like the end goal, like we talked about, is like give birth, get married, go to school, all those things. So in this scenario, as you're growing up, you're supposed to be finding a partner to marry and settle down with, right? So very rarely are you able to think, oh, this is not a partner to settle down with, this is a friend. Because in society's mind, and oftentimes what you're told is, why are you friends with the guy when you can just date him? The amount of guy friends that I have, and my mom will be like, you're not dating this person, or you don't like this person. Why not? He's good for you. You know what I mean? Like you're going to have those questions. So in that scenario, once you've gone past the, I like to say ojukokoro, which is like the, let's have the sex, let's do the sexual connection, let's do the chemistry, let's go past that. You tend to realize after you're not, the clarity just becomes very clear.
I have an interesting analogy.
Okay, tell me.
You're cooking a pot.
Okay.
And you realize that you don't like Maggi or salt in your pot. Like you don't like a certain spice. But you still like all the other things. Like you like the meat, you like all those things. No, this is a very, very African analogy. But think about it, right?
Yeah.
Meaning that like you've dated the person.
This is kind of conversation that will go on TikTok. People will be like, people need to take podcast mics.
But you've dated the person.
Yeah.
You like 60%.
But you know this is not your forever person.
Exactly.
It's much easier to be platonic friends.
Right.
Especially if both of you have mutually agreed that the relationship did not work out. It's oftentimes harder if one person is still in their feelings or whatever. But if it's a mutual agreement, that is true. She'll be like, Mommy, if you're listening to this, I'm lying. Mommy, if you're listening to this, don't listen to it. And so this is the woman when I say, Mommy, if you're listening, this is my mom. So my mom is 65 years old. She just turned 65. When we say, no, introduce yourself, Mommy.
Okay. My name's Olanrewaju Ibrahim, Nave Folami. I am born and bred Lagosian into the family of the Folami in Oroke, Itiosa local government. I turned 65 on Sunday, May 25th. I say Alhamdulillah, and which of Allah's favor can I deny? None. He had been so faithful to me, he had brought me to this level, and I say Alhamdulillah. So to everyone watching, my mom is late, of blessed memory. I love her so much. My father is 92. Alhamdulillah, we still pray for long life for him and good health. And I have 2 kids. I have a son and I have a daughter who is carrying me here to see the whole world. So I have 2 grandkids and a daughter-in-law. Alhamdulillah. I have all my siblings, some in support, some against. But here I am to say Allah knows best. Yes.
You kind of say, like, you know, they're Western moms. I feel like my mom is like a very traditional, very Muslim, very strict. Mommy, you say you're strict?
Well, it's 50-50. Some said I am not, some said I am. But as far as I'm concerned, I know I have played my role so well to the best of my ability and to what God has enabled me to. So it can be you are strict, you are not strict, you don't know how to train children. Allow Allah. Yeah.
Okay. So tell us a little bit, because I feel like I like to tell people that I am your wildest dreams. Like, I'm like the version of you that did not listen to anybody. I was just stubborn and did whatever she wants. Because I feel like this is me. I'm going to call you out small. I feel like when I was growing up, my mom was like my like role model. Like, she did whatever she wanted. She ruled everybody. My mom was always like the only woman in a room full of like 50 men, and they all listened to her. She did not care about anything. She did what she wanted to do. She was a marketing executive at Evans. She did the local government. She did all of those. You did all those things, and you were in the UK too. So tell us how, like, growing up, how you were. I'm gonna be honest, because I feel like you went from that person that I know, and now you're a bit like calmer. And I don't know if it's age or it's just like whatever. What would you say?
Well, I know that when I was growing up, I wouldn't say it was tough, but it was neither here nor there. I'm in a family of 21.
Okay, so you have 21 siblings.
Yes, and I'm the number one. So you know what that means. You have to be the mother to everyone. And I think I was able to play that role. I had to do a lot of sacrifices, even to my siblings' children. And today I'm so proud of everyone because we had all come out to be good and better. And I'm still praying that, everyone with one challenges or the other would overcome them and will continue to be better and greater, inshallah. Well, I started my journey, went to primary school, secondary school, then university. Fortunately, I went to UK. I did marketing. I wanted to do pharmacy because I've always loved to be in the science world. But unfortunately, for one reason or the other, I had to, go back and, get something done because there were challenges from back home. And I felt like rather than come here and then just be doing nothing in the society, why don't I just quickly go in? So I did my diploma in marketing. I was going back for my master's in marketing, but unfortunately, I was forced back home the African way. So when I got back home, it was tough. I had to go back and do my NYC. And after NYC, I had to struggle it out. And in those days, I'm the number one. I don't have anybody to report to. I don't have anyone to go back to say, please help me beg daddy or help me. Everybody looked at me as I'm a role model. I cannot disappoint anybody. And once your daddy say this, you have no choice. Your mother can't say otherwise. So she will keep telling you that it is whatever your father wants that you must follow. Mm-hmm. So she will beg me day and night. No, that's what your daddy said. Your daddy said you must come back. You have to come back. So I got back without bringing in anything except my certificate and my passport. But to God be the glory today. So I had to go and serve in Bauchi because I wanted an escape route out of home. So, and that was how I started. And I did my NYC, came back to Lagos. I got my job and I ended up in Evans. And I, started from sales rep. And I remember the day I saw the adverts. They said age 25. And as at that time, I was 30 years. And I said, what is the difference between 25 and 30? Whatever a 25 can do, I can do better. So When I got in for the interview, I said they should please shortlist me. I was shortlisted and I got there. And at the interview, I remember very well, the man said, no, but you don't qualify. You're 30. I said, out of everyone here, do I look 30? You know I can do it. Just give me. If I can't, if I fail in 6 months, please sack me. And throughout, I rose from that sales rep through customer services, managing the in and out of the products, both raw and finished goods. And I ended, retired as the commercial manager, managing the distribution and receive and distribution of raw and finished goods. So alhamdulillah. And after that, I now joined, and I was commanded, I was the only girl among all these men.
She was. You look at me too. You don't have to look at the camera.
Okay.
How similar do you think we are?
Well, our similar determination to achieve.
Okay.
Yes, that is, because even me, it was like, okay, no school fees is coming, no problem. I got to be, to achieve my aim. Yeah. I must not derail. I must not fail. That's what I see in me, and I can see in you that you are determined to, to make sure that you achieve the best in life. Mm-hmm. It might be different from what I was expecting. It might be different from what you are thinking.
Okay.
But the basic thing is we both have a goal to achieve. Mm-hmm. So, in those days, when I was growing up, we are forced to, okay, this is what I want, you must do it.
Yes, that's true.
The children of nowadays, you have to persuade, kind of, put your hand over their head and keep rubbing it and saying, oh, Shajo, please do it. Don't do it this way. Do it this way. This is what is expected of us. Not just because of fear, but because of the hereafter. So,
since we're talking about that, one of the first things people know about me is whenever I talk about like, oh, my mom and I are really close, but I remember like when I first started doing social media, it was very hard to explain to you what I was doing and why. And when we talk about like us being very different, or us being like very similar in how determined we are, I think about how like whenever I was doing that, I was saying, I know you, like when I see you, like when I'm like, oh, mom, let's do a TikTok or come on my podcast, I see that version of you very well. Like I see how like you're willing to always be there for me through everything, but there's always this hesitation. So why would you always say you're hesitating? Is it because it's something new? Is it because of shame? Is it because of fear? Is it because, what is it?
Well, initially it was, I never knew it was this deep. And
well, you know that's a word, right?
Yes, that's
like it's not that deep.
Yes, that wasn't this. Well, it's deep, right?
Yeah, that's what the kids say.
That's a cute word to say. So, it's just like saying in Yoruba that mi ò mọ̀ pé ó tó yìí. So, initially I find it so difficult to comprehend. It affected my mental health, but by the time I see people, family coming to me and saying, sister me, auntie, Elijah, you better thank God. She's not doing anything negative. She's not doing, if it is the other way around, what would you say? And that blah, blah, blah. So I begin to calm down, coming down to her level, saying that, okay, let me even go deeper. Let me see what is it. The only aspect we agree on is the hair. And my concern is on health-wise. And then also, what are you doing? The woman is supposed to have hair on her head. Cover your head. And blah, blah, blah. Like if I talk to the brother will say, Mommy, you have trained us. You have taught us life.
Yeah.
So if we are doing otherwise, that is to our own detriment. Is it detriment now?
You.
So it's not you. So please relax and let your don't anything affect your mental health.
Yeah.
Just be yourself. Be happy. See yourself as, look at the good things in this, your children, and then make that to suit your heart. So, and then
So tell me, do you think I'm a good child? Do you think I'm a good child?
You're a good child because what is the definition of being a good child? A good child is someone that would listen, and then if you're not going to do exactly what you're being asked to do, you want to show a reason why you're not doing it.
Okay, that's true.
And then a good child is I've not heard that you drink and then you fell inside gutter. Alhamdulillah. A good child is it's not as if you have everyone around you and they're all men clustering about you doing all no kind of nonsense. It's strictly your work and your work.
That's true.
So far, so good that I know of, you know, and I don't think I want to doubt that. Yeah. So you've been very hardworking, and I want to commend you for that you keep it up. But the only aspect, where we always disagree, this is the whole world listening to us now.
Yeah, it's not the whole world. It's like
my podcast. Whoever is watching, they're all over the world. They're all over
They are.
Uh-huh.
They,
So
it's about praying.
it's not just Canada.
That's true.
It's not just America. It's not just Nigeria. So we're all over, and I thank God for that.
Okay, I want to say that
Yes.
I wanted this podcast episode specifically because whenever a lot of kids, people that follow me, say that, how am I so bold online, or how am I so courageous with parents who don't understand you or who don't know what you're doing or don't want to listen, essentially. Like, I have so many young girls who will be like, I want to chase after my dreams, I want to do all these things, and I'm always telling them, like, it's not as if my mom supports me 100%. Like, you might say, like, right now we're recording, but as I walked out, she was like, are you not going to wear a jacket? And she was like, are you not going to do this? Like, she still tells me what the things that she doesn't like, but you're not imposing it on me. So what's some advice you have to parents listening who have a child like me, who is stubborn, doesn't listen, who wants to do their dream by force, by fire, but like you still show me love, you still show me respect, you still take care of me. I know there was never a time besides the one time you were in Dublin where like we stopped talking, essentially. Like, we're always like, even if we're crying on the phone or we're shouting at each other, it was still like, it's all because I love you so much. It was not because I will ever say, me and my mom will never speak again. So what's some advice you have for parents who are dealing with a child like me?
To parents out there, I am just one of you too. The best way to handle it is hand everything over to God, your creator, irrespective of your belief. Because for everything in life, you don't have control over them.
That's true.
It is your creator. And for everyone has his or her own way to live and how to go about it and how to achieve it. The best thing we can do is to guide them. Do it this way. This is how it is done. In our days, there was a day I was talking to one of my friends and I was almost crying, or maybe I was even crying. And then she said, Lanre, what's the big matter? No man wear hot pants. We wear hot pants, yes, but we don't go almost naked. But that is the society we are in today. We are begging and we are asking our God that, to make sure that we not just look at this world, we look at the hereafter.
Yeah.
Which is even, more hundreds of years. The world is coming to an end. I've had this when my great grandfather died 40 something years ago. But the world has still not ended. And,
that's true.
So we're still not even sure when the end, the world is going to end.
Yeah.
My mother died 8 years ago. It was like the world is coming to an end. So to us, it's we just have to be patient with them. Let them see reason why we are guiding them. Just make sure that they don't go into drugs. They don't follow the negative side of the world. Once this is for survival, once it's for them to achieve their dreams, irrespective of whatever we think, we can only guide and then advise. Okay. And then if you send your child, like somebody said, you cannot throw the baby with the dirty water.
Okay.
As in, you can't throw out the baby with the dirty water. So you have to throw the dirty water and then keep watching your baby. And then no matter how bad a child is, you will not say, oh, okay, this necklace I bought is so good, I'm not going to put it on my baby's waistline, as we talk it in Yoruba. So it won't be that bad for me to now say, okay, Sophia, I don't want you as a child. I'm going to take the next door neighbor's child. It's not possible. Even if I do that.
But you know, some parents do that though. Some parents do that. Some parents say they don't want their child anymore because the child is not doing what the parents want.
They have no choice, whether they like it or not. It might be that period of time. In years to come, they go look for the child. But if you have to go look for the child, it might be too late. So that's why when you are doing it, while you spank, you rob. So when you spank, you rob. Spank and rob is like when you just make sure you do your. Sometimes me and she, we always we disagree
all the time.
And when I say I won't call her, I won't do this, but at the same time I will think about it that you're having sleepless nights and you're saying you're not calling. So just find out what she's doing. If you don't guide, if you don't monitor, if she knows that I'm monitoring her, if she wants to go 10 steps, she'll probably go half or probably go 2 steps rather than going all the 10 steps.
That's true.
So but that's what I have for mothers and fathers. Not just mothers. Some fathers will say, oh, she's on her own. The mothers will say, oh, she's mine. And then that could even divide the home. But the basic thing is see it as your own and see it as a challenge and put everything before Almighty God. He would always find a way through. For instance, I have families and friends that have come to me that, oh, the Odditty, oh, she has changed my daughter's life. I was in a party. And, 2 girls came to me and said, oh, you are the Odditty's mom. And I said, no, they said, you are Sophie's mom. I said, yes, I am. And the next question I asked was, oh, did you go to home science? Because that was the secondary school. She said, no, they are followers on the Instagram or whatever. And immediately I just said, oh my God. And the girls now said, oh, mommy, alhamdulillah, we thank God for your life. You have brought us, she has impacted so much in our house, in my house, in my family, in this and that. And I was like, oh my God. Something that I'm crying upon every day. This is my last trip. A lady on the flight just said, are you Sophie's mom, the Odditty? I said, yes, I am. she had to report that I felt shy. Yes, it's a mixed feeling for me. I need to come honest, out and say it. You know it, Sophia. It's a mixed feeling. But I want the best for her. I want her to achieve what she wants to achieve. A lot of people have done it. They've achieved. But don't leave the worship of Allah, your creator. That is that is where we stand.
That's where we fight.
Yes.
Not fight, but
we don't fight. We advise ourselves. Because all the glamour of this world is absolutely nothing. For whatever reason, I don't see why I would disown my own child. I have...
Mommy.
Hold on. There's no way I will ever disown my own child. Even your brother that had given me so much...
I don't believe you.
Okay.
You can't just say, okay, you have to fight back.
No. Okay, that's my own opinion. You got your own opinion, right?
Okay.
Yes.
If I told you I didn't want to have kids, what would you say?
And I know you tell me why you don't want to have kids.
I don't want children. I just don't want children. I want to be an auntie.
That's not possible.
See what I mean?
Yes. But that doesn't mean I'm going to disown you.
Okay. So what would you do instead? Would you just disturb me and stress me out?
No, I won't stress you. I'll keep telling you why you have to. Because number one is a generation thing.
Oh, my brother's name is Dale. Braila's already continued the generation now. He has a boy and a girl.
That's his own generation. What happened to you?
I could always adopt or surrogacy.
Well, whichever way you want it.
Really?
But I know that you won't do that.
Why not?
You won't say because you're in the Western world, so you want
It's not the Western world. I've always said it.
You never ever said it. No. You've always said you wanted to have 9 children.
I did, but it changed.
And then because of your uncle's kids, you said, oh, this is no, you only have 5 or 6. So I don't know why you're now coming to 0.
I feel like it's growth.
No.
Like I'm growing up and I'm learning a lot about myself and I'm like, oh, I don't want that.
No.
But you see what I mean? Mommy, I'm telling you something about myself and you're like, no, that's not possible.
No, I mean, normal thing is for me to say no.
No, it's not normal. No, Mommy, that's not normal.
No.
You can't say no, but
so
then
I'll
that's
now
it.
say, okay, go
no,
ahead.
I'm not saying say go ahead. I'm
Uh-uh.
just saying you can say you disagree, but you can't say no about a decision that has to do with me and my body.
Oh, okay. So I disagree.
What if I said I never wanted to get married?
Well, I disagree.
Why not?
I disagree. I don't want a situation that I say no. I disagree.
Why?
I disagree.
Well, you can say no.
No, I disagree. Don't worry.
Isn't that mad? First of all, let's unpack the fact that my mom was our first guest. You guys, did you watch the freaking episode? I was so scared. Like, let me be very honest with you. Like, first of all, if you've been following my vlog channel, you know that there's been so many videos in the past that I've talked about my relationship with my mom and how strained it was. Like, I wasn't joking when I said she really would call me and say I was the worst daughter. She had regrets giving birth to me. I had aunties and uncles who I still, like, I have an uncle who I've not spoken to in 7 years. Like, he does not speak to me. He doesn't want to give me access to his kids. They literally, in my family, consider me the devil. Like, they've said I am the devil. Like, I have a cousin who I was really close to who I wanted to come fly out to New York to come see me, I think like last year or 2 years ago. And her mom and my uncles were like, no, like, she's not coming to see you. You're the devil. You're going to corrupt her, da 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 da. And I remember just feeling like the shittiest human. Like, I remember feeling so bad. And during that time, my mom just never supported me. And I don't think it was from a lack of love. I think it was from a lack of not understanding what I was doing. And so if everybody around her, especially because you guys saw in that podcast, she talked about how she's the first of 21 kids. I really think that my mom's siblings are her kids. Like, in her head, they are her first kids, and then me and my brother, of course, were her kids too. But I think for a long time, she struggled. And I know she's not here to defend herself. I get it. But now I can yap with you guys because this is my podcast. It's not her podcast, even though I know you guys loved her very much, and that episode is doing so well. But for me, I can tell that, like, those kids, like her siblings, her kids first. So she poured a lot of effort into taking care of them, taking care of their kids, making sure they're all going to be successful, like trying to plant success in their lives, essentially. So whenever things like that would happen with me and my brother, she would feel sort of like caught in between two worlds of, I want to support my own kids while also being like, I also want to listen to my siblings because I've known them longer. I feel like that's what I always felt like. There were so many times when she would call me and I just knew that she wasn't cool with the shit I was doing, but she wasn't as mad. Like, if you guys listen to that episode, it was like, my mom gets uncomfortable. Like, she doesn't like when I show skin. She doesn't like if I drink. She doesn't like if I do drugs. She doesn't like if I'm gay. She doesn't like if I'm not going to be Muslim. Like, there's things I know she wouldn't like. I don't think she would hate me for it. But I think with listening to her siblings and our family, I think she would always feel like she had to present this strict, I hate this kid, because that means if she does that, then she's a better mom to us. So it felt like a full circle moment finally to just have that one-on-one with her. And it was weird because we actually have never had that conversation before. Like, me and my mom don't talk. I'm not even gonna like sugarcoat it with you guys. Like, we don't talk. Like, we're not the daughter duo. And I also think I have very little patience because I get so scarred. Like, imagine doing all like dreaming big and like going to your mom because she's the only parent I have and being like, Mommy, I want to do this, and she's telling you no, like, why do you want to do that? She doesn't understand. I always felt so closed off. So because of that, I would just be like, you know what? I don't need to share. I'm realizing how important it is for me to have my family support me. I went through so much solo, and I have a really good support system, which is what the episode is going to be about. Like, how my friends sort of like became sort of like my mom and replaced my mom, because there's so many stories of me seeking community because I didn't have that at home. Like, the Odditty is not just a name for me. Like, it was survival mode. Like, I realized that for me to be the person I wanted to be, I had to be an oddity and feel it and own it and just be unapologetically me. And I got through it, guys. And so like to have her finally be on the podcast, and mind you, I did not offer, like I did not say, "Mommy, would you be on my podcast?" She literally said, "So when am I going to be on the podcast?" Oh, excuse me? My podcast? You want to willingly come on my podcast? Ma'am, where's my mother? What have you done with her? Like, that was the vibe. And she did really good. Like, I don't know. Like, I'd listened to that episode at least 5 times now. Like, just to listen to her side of the story and hearing her talk about, you know, going to the UK. If you've not listened to the past episode, you have to go listen to it, or none of this makes any sense. Just hearing her talk about her past living in the UK, in a way, it felt like her lost dreams, wanting to escape home. It just felt like she gets me. And she's a part of in her life right now where she's accepted where she is and all her choices. And all she wants right now is to just have a relationship with her kids. And I respect that. And I want to do everything I can while still being myself, to also remember that my mom is also just a girl. Like, my mom is just a girl. She's just trying to figure this life out too. She doesn't know how to navigate things. I don't know how to navigate things, but giving her the space to feel her feelings while also giving myself space to feel my feelings, I think would help us in the long run. So I've gotten a lot of messages from you guys talking about like navigating your relationship with your parents. And I don't have any advice except like prioritizing yourself. I spent years prioritizing me. And I think she had to learn that I would always choose me in this situation. And she should also choose herself. And at some point when we both feel like we're at that space where we do not want to come together, we've come together now and we're both okay. Like, she can, I literally told my mom, what if I don't want to get married? And she's like, well, I disagree. Like, she didn't curse me out. She didn't say you're the devil. She didn't say, and I know because the camera was there, she's not going to say that. Well, even like when we're not on camera, she's not saying those things to me anymore. She's not letting aunties and uncles speak crazy about me. I'm also 28 now. I feel like she's also like, girl, this child is grown. Like, she's not going to do, what can she do? You know what I mean? So I'm grateful for that episode. It feels like the perfect first guest. Over the next couple of weeks, as I travel, I'm going to be really, really interested in bringing on people that I love and I want to have on my podcast. What I mean by that is I don't think there's any other podcast that am I too loud. I'm not even going to front. Like, I don't want celebrities yet. I still want some celebrities, okay? I want some big people on here. But I don't want celebrities yet. I want you guys to hear from the people that have shaped me into being the woman that I am. I want you to hear from my friends. So for everyone who reached out from the past episode, thank you so much. My mom is fine. She's been reading all the episode comments. She loves them. She's been wanting to go on Twitter. She wants to do TikToks together. She's very happy. She still wants me to have my 9 kids. I don't know if that's going to happen. She still wants me to not be gay. I don't think that's going to happen. She still wants me to be modest. I don't think that's going to happen. She still wants me to grow my hair. I don't think that's going to happen. However, I respect that my choices still does not negate her love for me. And I love her very much, even though she does not support me. I don't know if things will ever change. I'm going to always stress my mom. I think that's the cross she has to bear for having a child like me. But I love her very much. I'm just like, as I'm thinking about friendship right now, I'm like, okay, what would younger Sophie also like think? Like, what is some advice I'll give my younger self about friendships? And I think one of the biggest things would be go where you belong, but also go where you're celebrated. I think so many people are stuck in relationships that are very toxic and are unhealthy. And for me, that oftentimes has shown up in my friendships specifically, where I feel that need to show up for people too much and then they take advantage of it. So allowing my younger self to understand that, like, I need to go where I'm celebrated and go where I'm needed. Don't try to force friendships. That's the biggest thing. Don't force friendships. It's okay to let people go. I think in life, I give people a lot of chances, and it's okay to give those friendship chances. But if people have been very clear to you about how they feel about you, let them do them. Let them do them. Don't stress about it. Don't fight it. Just accept it for what it is.
If you enjoyed this video, you're going to like this one right here.